Greetings, traveler. You've just landed on the Mikey and Me podcast. But fear not, for this is no mistake. No fault in the stars, no glitch in the matrix. I'm afraid this has all been planned. Predetermined by powers known not to us. So pull up a chair and join us as we find our way together, for you are among friends. As
hey, Mikey.
Hello, Matthew.
It's good. It's good to see you, sir. It's
And you.
I hear that recently Christmas has passed from where you hail.
Yes, and last Christmas I gave you my heart, and you threw it away the very next day. Yeah, Christmas. We just had a Christmas.
Yeah,
we just had a Christmas. I've experienced many Christmases. I've experienced.
That was
I've
the
had
first couple. Was that the first? The very okay. So a little over 2 years. That might have been the first couple months where you mentioned that.
Yeah, many Christmases.
Dude, I was going back and looking at some of our old stuff, and I'm
do what now? Oh, you say you've been going back?
I was doing an exercise that led me to having to look at some of our early season stuff. And whenever we used to just be sitting next to each other with the higher camera, I don't know. I felt nostalgia for that.
I do too. Like, I do too. And
I liked that more. I don't know.
I know, right?
It could just be nostalgia. That's crazy to say that about.
I know
doing this.
No, I agree. I 100% agree about it. It's like, do I like that just because it felt like, oh, that was when we were just starting up, and we kind of both had a whole bunch of time on our hands in a way. It's like, and
it didn't look
was
like
just
anything else. Not that ours does, but
no.
We're sitting closer talking. Yeah, it's better for guys to be talking, but we kind of look like we're at a weird command center there. That kind of.
Yeah, we did. It did. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was nice. Maybe we should do one time where we film one where it's like we're riding on the back of a horse. Like you're sitting, you know what I mean, in front, and I'm slightly behind, and I'm just peered out from over one of your shoulders. Dude, you know what I mean?
We could dude. We'll make that happen. You kidding me?
You think so? Okay. All right. That excites me.
It's basically already happened.
Wow. So yeah, like we were saying, Christmas. How was yours? Tell me about it. Did you have a good one?
It was great.
This is now this is your second Christmas now with child?
It's funny, so she's 2, but it's actually the third. So the first one, she
correct.
was barely a couple months old. Didn't even count.
We don't even count it.
It didn't even count for
That's
me.
why, yep.
I don't even know what was going on. That was a blur of babydom. So last year was kind of okay, her first somewhat awareness, but now she's a little over 2. I tell you what, man, if Christmas hasn't come back in full force for me, having a kid at this little over 2 up through however long, the magic of Christmas for them. Now I'm riding it. Even her, she loved the Grinch. So we probably, for whatever reason, she latched onto the Grinch with Jim Carrey's. We probably watched it 50 times. We've had it on every day. She's already knows parts and chimes in with it. It's crazy that she loves this. And so just that magic, this might be the most excited I've ever been about Christmas, just because of living through my daughter with it all.
So it's reigniting something for you too, huh?
Dude,
it
and
sounds
more so than I probably felt whenever it was just me being a kid.
That's funny. And I think maybe too, it's probably because you realize that maybe I
love my daughter.
Well, not just that, right? Yeah, you do love your daughter for sure. I don't want to minimize that from you, Matthew. But no,
the Matthew's daughter podcast.
No, it's just knowing that that these are going to be the memories that she looks back on, and realizing that you get the opportunity to kind of make this is going to be her glory days or her good old days, is looking back at these times and stuff, and so not glory days, but.
Because, she's only 2, because I really don't expect her to remember anything for the next couple of years. I'm just trying to think.
I think she could. I get what you mean. Yeah, long term. A memory from
I want her to be able to tell me when she's 40 years old what she liked, her favorite Christmas memories. I'm joking. But no, it's the experiences that are formulating how she feels about life. She didn't have to remember this Christmas to know that Christmas has always been magical to her.
Been good. Yes.
The magic of Christmas, the memory of that, and that's a whole different conversation. It's interesting because emotional memory versus scenic event memory.
Yeah.
Because we're
Yeah.
building memories of association with Christmas that exist
Yeah.
outside of specific memories of Christmas. So yeah.
Well, that's like to kind of like what you just said there about like say emotional memory. Is that what you said?
Yeah, and I was just making that up. That just sounds like the right way
Sure,
to say
but
it.
we'll say that. Like,
Yeah.
I think it is probably the right way to say it. But like, I agree because I think I've even heard. I think I have even heard people talk about like scientific studies and things like that they've done where kids that were like not held by their mom or dad when they were young and like the
Yeah.
problems or something like how like it actually causes issues with the kid later on where it's like
Yes.
they
Literally just
need to
getting skin to
feel.
skin contact when they're
Mhm.
newborns apparently has massive impact on their development. So we're just making sure you're
Yeah,
skin to skin, like you hold your baby with your shirt off, so that it's feeling
yeah.
you. There's some crazy benefit to that I think goes right into what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but I just remember I remember reading it or hearing it or watching something on it where they were saying that like for emotional development or whatnot, or people who have good emotional development, something about how like they were held a lot as kids and they do notice that ones that aren't held a lot or something,
It's crazy to think how
display
far back
different.
your development's like, like the
Yeah.
adults that are troubled or have difficulty, maybe a certain relational thing. It could be
Yeah.
nothing, but even if it's like X% is affected by that, it shows that there's an effect, there's an impact.
Yeah, so if you're having a bad day, just think
Hug a
of
baby.
which parent you want to blame to say that you didn't hug me enough. What do you expect? Why else would I? Yeah, I did what I did because I didn't get a hug from you enough. You didn't skin to skin hug me.
I'm gonna screenshot that and send it to Bob and Gino. Mikey wanted me to
Dude,
send this to you.
little baby Mikey was well held and loved. Little baby Mikey, everybody loved it. Fat little boy, such a chunky little baby.
Oh man. Speaking about Trump, did you hear about those plaques that he all had made? Or like
No,
the different pictures of
Oh,
presidents in the White House? And
yes,
like the
and the
plaque.
auto pen.
Yeah, but the joke, like the things you put underneath them for describing them. But yeah, so for Joe Biden's, like mentioned the auto pen and all that stuff, but actually being like
Yeah.
in the White House, that's funny. That's funny.
It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, he's displaying sense of humor, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna express every
Dude, I'm conservative, but
freedom I
it's
have in here."
ridiculous. Like
It's
he's
ridiculous for
playing the
sure. I mean, it's
game.
pretty.
I feel like he's playing the game in the world he lives in. I feel like
I
you know what I mean. Like I wouldn't do it.
yeah.
I feel like there's like classier ways to do things. At the same time, I almost feel like, well, he's just the same way he basically was almost like WWE promos and stuff whenever like he knows how to play the game with media and attention, and I feel like our world and society will gravitate to this absurd, like the president's doing that stuff. It's like, yeah, like he was actually the one posting on Twitter doing podcasts.
I think some of
I think
it.
he's playing the game, and he's doing things I couldn't do, but I think he would do better than me because of that.
What I think it is that I don't necessarily see. I see because that's the thing. I think that a lot of us we equate because we know that he's like so tactful with a lot of certain things he does or says that like he has an agenda behind it or whatnot, that like he has an angle he's trying to work when he says something sometimes. And so we know that like, but I personally, I think that like just he right now, his attitude, that's just who he is. And I don't think that he's
Yeah.
necessarily, but I think that like our society or the where we're at in the world, I think that it's the perfect time for just somebody like him. And he's just, I think it's a right place, right time kind of thing where it's like
Everything.
he wouldn't have gotten by with this, or this wouldn't have been as popular the way he is his whole approach wouldn't have been as popular 20 years ago, 15 years ago. It's like, shit. But now it's different. I think that too, also you have to keep in mind, like with some of that, how like degrading all the other side was to him.
Oh, yeah.
And the media. And so I think that it's one of those things where now that he's gotten in,
because he's the president stooping down to that level.
I agree.
But hey,
and I think, no, it is. But again, like it is the president stooping to that level. But then too, it's like the fact that, it's like, it reminds me of a quote
got
where
so bad, it basically called for it.
that, and there's a quote where it was like, I can't remember what was the first part of it? I can look it up or something, or you can maybe help me find it. But it was something about like, oh yeah, it was two different quotes, and you have Jordan Peterson's, which was like clean your room, and something like that, and then it was like, what if the world is the reason I don't want to clean my room, or something like that, where it was like two, where one of them was pretty much saying the reason that somebody, could be sad and depressed or whatever in this certain way is because it's like the world is this way. And it's like versus the one where it's like, just clean your room and do this or whatever. Where in my head, it made sense to where it's like with the Trump thing is that, is Trump just the way he is just on his own? Or is it's like also part of this fucking world that we're in and the way everything's just like the way everything has been for the past 30, 40, 50 years. And it's like, so I think that's everybody. We always like to point out like certain people that we don't like as anomalies rather than like just also realizing the background that they exist in.
Dude, I think that's exactly it. I think he's being in every realm and reality of that we might be, that he was always going to be a brass, overconfident alpha male type guy. And this happens to be the world where the version of that is what he's doing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
To where it could be a world that was more classy and things didn't get so ridiculous with social and all that stuff, and he'd still be like extremely confident, doing things in that way. But I respect because he's not just he's that way in everything he's doing. So I can respect that. It's not like he's just tweeting stuff. The stuff he's doing with international policy and trade I respect. Like I'm on board with most of it. Like if I had to pick, some of it's like, well, it's a tough war, but man, dude, the political international games that we played right now through all these little
pretty crazy.
Are crazy. Just like all the Venezuela tanker stuff ties directly to China. It all has to do. China's getting oil from Venezuela, so like all this stuff is literally like a way for U.S. to choke China on things they need. Like this thing out of nowhere.
That was the similar. That's seriously, that's like what's his name?
And we're making them like an enemy. Think about that. That's nuts.
Yeah. One, it's two. It's like even think about like Eddie Griffith once said he had a stand up where he was talking about like how smoking like what is it, smoking peyote or something like that, or smoking it's like they use opium. Yeah. They use opium in their religion or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Or some shit. There's like Chinese religion where they smoke opium,
like peyote and things like that. And there's probably they have a medicinal purpose for all like the things that we abuse. So
but he was saying that like his whole thing was the reason he thinks that the reason we went to Afghanistan was because they were like the largest producer of poppy and opium or whatever in the world. And so he was thinking that it's like controlling the poppy fields and controlling the opium flow to like China could get in a way control China if
switch opium with oil, which actually it was a big component. It's because of oil. I mean, that was because of oil. I mean, that was oil.
No, I know. Yeah, oil for sure. Like that was the main.
That's like
but the opium they did have soldiers just like guarding all the opium.
Of course,
fields. They like came in there and was like, "Oh, these are our opium fields now."
Oh yeah, I mean the biggest. I need to get an estimation on the annual value of the black market compared to the traditional markets. I was looking that up real quick. That's an interesting thing. You wonder. It's like, what's the total capitalized value of the black? Let me see.
It's got to be a lot more. I feel like because you're getting like that's 100% profit.
It would, but there's be less.
It's 100% profit.
There's be a lot. Less there's no in it. So
and
I'm
there's
saying,
no
but
taxing.
The traditional markets include gold and silver. It's gonna be trillion. I don't think it'll be near as much, but I want to see how big it'll be. We'll see in the black market.
Like I said, though, I feel like you're getting 100% profit. I think on the black market, though.
I'm just saying, like the total amount invested is be less. I'm just saying, like actual.
No, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the global economy total across all countries was valued at roughly 113 trillion in 2025. Let's see, black markets. Black markets outside reporting. The global shadow economy, which blends informal stuff, estimated to be about 11 to 12% of world GPT. So about 11 to 12% of the 113. So I'm just saying. So I'm saying the world's 113 trillion. Saying 10 trillion is made on the black market.
Yeah.
If that, trying to imagine how many drugs would stack up to be $10 trillion.
That's a lot.
Drugs. The black market probably covers all kinds of, all the dark shit.
Yeah, right. Everything.
Either way,
not legal.
We should start to get into that.
So that's the black market.
That's our talk. Black market, Mikey.
The weather in the black market, well, I was getting there. It's 47 degrees in Davenport, Iowa. It's 47. It's 47 degrees. Why? Yeah. What do you mean? I say that? I'm waiting for a break.
I don't know how long to go because I'm worried.
No, I was waiting for a break. I was just waiting on a break in our action. It's 47 degrees in Davenport.
Where's Davenport?
Iowa. You don't like Davenport, Iowa? You don't want to go to?
No,
we have a lot of listeners in Davenport.
I don't like anything that ends in WA.
Okay.
No reason. I just had to grab something. Buddy.
There you go. But yeah, so it's pretty chilly out there. So if you're going to get out and about, it's chilly and it's a little bit windy. But Sunday, 95% chance of rain. Dude, I don't know what a little bit windy is. It just shows a little windy thing.
Oh, I gotcha. I saw some nationwide, temperature thing a couple days ago. My dad's around, and it felt like almost the whole country was roughly the same temperature. Like, it was crazy because it was like a couple days ago. My dad was here. The news was on something, and it was just like seeing most of the country being within like 10 degrees of each other. It was kind of like,
that is pretty crazy.
Temperature. It's like, yeah, it's crazy.
No, I know it is weird whenever you see that. How it's like, I've seen that a few times. I want to say, where you see that the entire U.S. is all within. It's like, how is that?
It's that's many thousands of miles that way. It's the same thing. Okay, yeah, I don't.
Global warming
nature's beyond me. Why should everything be colder as soon as I drive north? It's not the case.
It's not. It's not the case at all.
All right.
Well, do you want to go ahead and get into these movies?
I mean, I think we owe it to our diehard fans, Michael.
I agree.
We had a year. Do you need, I'm good to go right into it, or did you need to take a break? I'm good if you're not.
No, I mean, no, I'm good to jump.
What? 1962.
Yeah, the year was 1962. And in that year, your president was none other than John F. Kennedy. In 1962, he was our president. And we've been in years with Kennedy before, because I remember that something important through his presidency, obviously during that time, was the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Bad pitch.
Yep. And integration of Old Miss. Those are big things. Cold War tensions, civil rights,
unrest.
Unrest. That was going on in 1962. That's who the president was. I think people in the country at that time, to get the tone, were mostly optimistic. Mostly, aside from the Cuban Missile Crisis, of course. Isn't that crazy? Stuff like that, the Cuban Missile Crisis, and then the air raid drills.
Stephen had it. He's still the youngest president ever, right? Elected, I think.
Yeah, or was that not Obama? Did Obama?
Was he younger? Was it close to?
I want to say it was close or something. I'll look it up.
Yeah. See, Kennedy, Obama age.
Roosevelt.
Really?
The youngest person to become U.S. president was Theodore Roosevelt at 42.
So Kennedy
after President McKinley. Something like that. John F. Kennedy was 43.
Yeah. So even that.
Yep.
Even that. I'm 41. I'm sitting here thinking right now, it'd basically be like one of my buddies a couple years older being president. That's
Isn't that
great.
crazy?
Because I feel like we've gone so far from that, which I'm cool. If they're cogent and they can be 70 or 80, then that, if they are actually like really sound of mind, there's no way, as long as they're really good to take in everything, having good people to listen to, because they can't capture everything, that they would be able to be better if they like take in all the information and actually listen to sound, capturing all
Yeah.
generations input and everything, because they literally have experience in things that you can't, you can explain, but it's like an experience is, you have to experience it, I don't know.
Yeah, well, and it's yeah, that was like, I think it was Marcus Aurelius that said, a man who lives to see at 40 or something like that has seen all things.
That's
So you've seen all there is to see. So
Chris would know exactly when he says.
so you're you know, you're not far off whenever you say that, when that's what you think. So yeah, the year's 1962. That's the year of movies that we're on. What do you guys recommend? No, I'm kidding. So I'll go ahead and
No one's taking
yeah.
calls. Should we open up the phone lines?
Let's open up the phone lines.
Okay, how do we do that? We send out a text to every. I could give you a little link. You could send it to all your friends and be like, hey, if you want to hop on and tell us favorite music, do you want it to see what happens?
No.
Okay. All right.
We won't open up the lines.
All right. We did that one time, you remember?
That I do remember.
People
I
from
do
Twitter
remember.
hopping in and just leaving.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, we can do that again. The random yeah. That was funny. All right, so movie from 1962, The Tale of Zatoichi.
All right.
If you can find a trailer for that, if you want to.
Find one.
Zatoichi, Zatoichi.
I just want to unpin that. Just got to move things around on here because if I do that, it's a goofy thing. Tale of Zatoichi. How do you spell it?
Zatoichi.
Awesome. Here we go.
Yeah, they actually made a series of this. It's on Tubi.
I don't think the soundtrack. This sounds. The recording sounds modern. This the audio. So this was on Tubi.
No, this wasn't the series that they made about this guy later. They had a series.
Okay.
And the series of the same character was on there.
Okay. Thing is, there's a lot that happened this year with cinema, with samurai, and the concept of samurai and different things. So that's interesting. But I felt like there's probably a lot of interesting samurai stuff that came out there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but no, it's cool because his sword is like it's kind of like a one-piece deal. It's like you can't really tell that it's a sword. It just looks like a cane thing that just like pulls out, and all of a sudden it's just like sword.
No, dude, I know what you're talking about. I think those are so cool.
Oh yeah, those are probably by far like the coolest. And then of course, this is a big year. We don't have to necessarily watch the trailer unless you want. Whatever. To Kill a Mockingbird. That one. I feel like we should. All right.
Because I remember that one when I was a young kid watching it. Gregory Peck. Maybe my mom really liked this a lot. But there's like reason this was like introduced in my life, at least, more than once when I was growing up. So I was like, okay, and it's a powerful story. So I wanted to watch this trailer, so it's good stuff. Gregory Peck, they did just perform. I think he won an Academy Award for this. This is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gregory Peck.
The world never seems as fresh and wonderful, as comforting and terrifying, as good and evil, as it does when seen through the eyes of a child. For a writer to capture that feeling is remarkable. And perhaps that is why one book in the last few years has been so warmly embraced by tens of millions of people. To Kill a Mockingbird, winner of the Pulitzer Prize and just about every other award a book can win. And now, happily, To Kill a Mockingbird becomes a motion picture, and its memorable characters come vividly alive. That Scout, some people call her Jean Louise Finch, but she insists on Scout. And that's her brother, Jim, just a boy until the day he learns there is evil in the world. Atticus! And Atticus Finch, the father, whose devotion to justice places him and his children in jeopardy. I've been appointed to defend Tom Robinson. Now that he's been charged, that's what I intend to do.
You taking his
You'll excuse me, Mr. Ewell.
What kind of man are you? You got children of your own?
Atticus, Jim says his watch is going to belong to him someday.
That's right.
What are you going to give me?
There's a pearl necklace. There's a ring that belonged to your mother. You want to tell us what really happened?
I got something to say. And if you ain't gonna do nothing about it, then you're just a bunch of lousy, yellow, stinking cowards.
If you got hate in your heart, let it out.
The stage for a lot of courtroom stuff that happened. This 1960, I don't know, like it's a courtroom movie for a bunch of it. It's a powerful movie, man. It's definitely worth a rewatch. It's classic Hollywood. Like, it's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Uh-oh.
It is. It is.
Yep.
What? Baby CeeLo's up?
Yeah. Oh, she's good. She's
Um,
the night terrors. I'm joking.
All right. And the other, Harakiri?
Yes, seppuku. In parentheses.
Yes. Seppuku.
Yes. This is one of those samurai films I was alluding to about the year.
Yeah, another one. Correct. You are correct.
The disillusionment with the romantic samurai fight idea. There we go. It's interesting because whenever you hear last month, right before you left, I don't know if you remember, I had my computer up and there's something on there, and I said, that's what you should check out. It dealt with this Japanese thing in the 80s. It was kind of like a documentary. And it said about this artist who basically actually committed seppuku. But it was literally right.
Oh, okay.
But there was like a weird thing, like, oh, it's actually a good movie. And just, it's like a second of stuff. I feel like the Japanese were maybe one of the most important forces in like cinema. Like,
I can't really hear you. Hold on.
I'm sorry. They're good.
No, you're fine. I just can't hear what you're saying, really.
Yeah, I was just talking about Japanese cinema, and I was talking about. I'll wait till this trailer's over.
さあ、もう時刻あげましょう。
いいかい嬉しいが。感動
what happens?
You haven't seen this one.
ごめん捕まつ
You know, it was a movie just there. Oh, shit. I think that was in the movie intentionally on that way, that purpose, where you saw the camera crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to see, because I was reading about some movie this weird to where there's this term, I have to look it up, it's on my notes, about when a movie intentionally does something to pull the viewer out of that false reality, almost like if you're so wrapped up into it, to like kind of give you breathing room. So in a lot of comedies, they do it when they break the fourth wall, but it's a way of breaking the fourth wall, but not for comedic purposes almost. So I think that might have been
yeah,
what that
because that's I wasn't sure how to interpret that.
Yeah, which is
So-
you don't. I don't know if you see that rarely ever for non-comedic purposes now, but that's pretty.
No,
That's crazy because I was trying to figure that out. I'm like, that might be why they read that, and I have to pull the term up because it's one of them ones. It beats mise en scene because I have to look up how to pronounce this one.
Yeah, well then there's only a couple more than we don't really have to show what's it called, trailers, but I didn't realize it was a remake, but the original Cape Fear came
knew you were
out in
gonna say that.
1962.
Yeah,
You knew that?
No,
That's funny, yeah.
I was reading it earlier and I saw that. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's the original, I guess.
Yep. Dude, I love the one De Niro, like that was I remember the first time I watched it, it just came on TV and I was like, what is this? Like I was like, that Robert De Niro? I'm like, what
Yep.
movie is this? And you know what's funny about that is I feel like his character in Jackie Brown was pretty much like his character in Cape Fear. Like is damn near the same. Like just the slick back hair.
You're giving away. I'm just.
Yeah, the
I
slick
bet if
back
you watch
hair,
those movies,
mustache
you're gonna
guy.
see like 3 characters across 50 movies. You know.
Yeah.
But if he
No, I
nails
know.
them, it doesn't matter to me. You know.
No, I know. Yeah, but it was funny. I'm just like, wait a minute. He's literally like Cape Fear De Niro right here, like where he's in this. Pug, you want to come see this? Look, this pug's got this handle. I just pick her up now.
Yeah.
We
see
have a
that.
handle on this pug.
You think she likes wearing that around? She didn't have a choice.
I think she likes it. No, well, we just got done with a walk a little while ago.
Oh, delicious.
This the littlest pug.
So he gets
But
the
then, yeah,
hardest
let me.
one.
Oh yeah, dude, it's better for him that way.
That's what they say.
How the West Was Won. That was an important one that came out. Another samurai movie, Sanjuro.
That was. Yeah, I'll pull up the trailer now.
So then, yeah, no, I mean, was that on your list?
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, there you go. And then, yeah, go ahead
It's
from here. I'm
technically
done.
a sequel to Yojimbo, which was
Is it?
again. This is a Kurosawa movie, so this is actually the only one I got halfway through before the weekend. Yeah, I'm upset. I still need to finish it, but so any year a Kurosawa movie comes out, I'm like, I can watch it, and it's cool because this is a sequel to Yojimbo. But apparently, it's interesting.
Yojimbo.
Yojimbo was like the badass guy who comes at town and helps those people defend it and stuff. In this one, he takes that same character, puts him in a situation, but the directing style and tone is more comedic. It's intentionally more of an action comedy for 1962.
Really?
Yeah. So it's a black and white Japanese film without funny stuff, but just the tone and everything that's occurring is actually more of a comedy, but only with certain like the end is like a good action scene. But it's interesting because what he did is basically Yojimbo was like hardcore action and intense stuff.
Yeah.
And this one is, but not throughout as much. And it's a lot more comedy that would be described. So it's interesting. So I'll show that one. Yeah. How do you spell it?
Yeah, I did not watch it. Sanguro. I just knew it was important.
That I basically come through exercise to realize that Kurosawa, for me, anything he puts out, I need to watch whenever I come across the opportunity. Because I really think a lot of stuff he did has influenced so much cinema, and a lot of action cinema, and just the way.
Oh, it absolutely does. Because every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, that looks like Kill Bill, or that looks like this, and it's like, oh, that's why that looks like that.
Okay. The music, it's more of a comical feel.
And again, they're breaking the fourth wall right there, or no? See the camera guy in the back?
Yeah, here.
Or is that like was
here,
they actually filming a?
Almost a behind the scenes.
I see what you mean about the vibe of it.
Yeah, it's that music. That's the great thing about music. That's goofy music,
like
no matter where you're from in the world. You know.
The music, goofy, I feel like, does the. I feel like the music is setting the tone, though, in a way of like, because how you kind of said it's like a comedy, kind of more lighthearted, where it's almost to me they're trying to do like the old Western songs.
Exactly.
Because that's not a harmonica, but it's supposed to mimic the harmonica.
Even that line there.
Yeah. Yeah, like listen, that's supposed to like sound like a harmonica.
Yes.
I
bet that was a funny line.
Yeah.
They're trying to be quiet, right? Yeah. But it worked out to. This is that purpose, but I don't think so.
The old Kansas City Shuffle.
Hell yeah.
Damn. Shit.
There was that scene.
That fool's like, that was kind of tricky. He's like, not yet. I'm not trying to fight yet. Now, okay, here I go.
Your Jim was that one movie where he played that last scene where he like.
Yeah, that scene was sick.
Really quick.
I need to watch that tonight. I'm doing that. When I get done, I'm going to send you a picture, and it's me watching Yojimbo. Yeah, I'm watching Yojimbo tonight. Oh, speaking of which, I watched One Battle. I say speaking of which, as if there's any relation. Yeah, One Battle After Another, because Jeff kept talking to me about watching it. And it was funny. I thought it was funny. I was surprised. I was surprised. I enjoyed it as much as I did because I definitely thought like, okay, like I'm just I'm walking into just a total kind of like
if anything,
puff piece in a way or something like that.
It's really a good movie. It really is.
It is. It is like it is one of Leonardo's. Does a great performance in it. Benicio del Toro's part is also his character is pretty iconic. I feel like in that scene with him getting pulled over and he's standing outside the car in the gi pants because I didn't even know what that came from. I just saw that clip and I was like, "What movie is this from?" Where Benicio del Toro's wearing gi pants? Like, what is he doing? And then after watching it, it was funny though. Like I did enjoy it, and it's like I think it was. Was it social justice warrior-y and kind of more to the left? Yeah, no doubt. But I feel like it was also they more or less rather than it just being it's like they just like I don't know how to explain what I feel. It's what I'm trying to say.
Movie.
Yeah.
The thing is, like,
It's
I went back and forth with.
oh,
It made me address certain things about recognizing the time I live in society and culture,
yes.
and art's getting made within that time, and then
Mm-hmm.
being able to really think about how much I need to consider things that I feel like seem like intentional in one thing or another versus not. At the end of it all, it helped me realize like I
Yeah.
can see certain things that people can have thoughts of, but I can also know and even listen to be certain like different interviews and things talking with directors and creators that I've liked. I've loved Paul Thomas Anderson's the director of this. He did There Will Be Blood, Boogie Nights, all these other amazing movies. So I know he's a true American filmmaker, and that and this book, the story is even based on a book that's been out for a couple years. And it's like, okay, if I'm gonna make a modern revolutionary, whatever, it's almost like whether it's painting a certain picture or not.
Yeah.
For this character, this is this is the story that would be for that character in the time we live.
Yes. Yes.
Even
And
though
I
it's
think
not
that yes.
accurate. And because all he
No.
talked about was the father-daughter relationship, the sins of the father concept being passed on to the daughter, which this whole movie
Yeah.
is basically about that. This girl inherited a world of trouble because of who her parents were and what they did. And just the whole
Yep.
hero aspect. And this was cool because he talked about Leonardo's character. Like, you knew he was a badass in the past and stuff. And there'd be all these opportunities for him to, like, do something badass towards the end. But like almost as be human and not do it as much, but other people step up and do things, and that all
Yes.
being like intentional moments of like, and even the last scene, I'm not gonna say, but whenever she's alive and
Yep.
somebody kills the one
Oh.
person, the person,
Yeah, I know.
the
Yeah.
person who does it was gonna possibly be another person and give them a hero
Yeah.
moment, but for her to even get it and him to be, his hero moment was convincing her that he was who he was, you know.
Yeah.
And so all
Yeah,
these
yeah.
things, realizing all the artistic thought and intent that went to all these characters and the human aspects, the society and cultures, and it made me realize when we talk about art being outlawed in certain times and shit, it's probably because of this. Probably because there's art that was exemplifying a certain mindset that people didn't like, and it'd be even worse. You know, it could be one way or the
Yeah.
other. So I was like, you have to respect art for art or not. I've realized, and for me, it's a tough thing, you know, but at the end,
I think that
love
for
it.
me,
I'm sorry, I got off
it's.
my
I
soapbox.
think my main thing is that it's like it has to. I don't. It's like it has to have a good storyline at least. You have to like. I don't want to just sit here and watch like, you know. Oh, because
Yes.
the reason
Yes,
again
sir.
I come back to it. I've said it before. It's like I think so many things are just like you watch crime shows from like, you know, the 90s and the 2000s and whatever it's
We're
like,
talking about
and
like a
so many
story
of
with
them are something.
merit and characters and depth.
The antagonist or whatever is like a right wing extremist or right wing, and you know, you got to take down these bad patriots and people that love America are painted as like evil and all this, and it's like you just see it's, you know, for so long it's like that's the main driving force of the show is like fuck white people or fuck men and this and that, fuck America. But like this actually, it's like they add some of those things in because yeah, okay, that's who that character might be and that's how they might feel. It's like, but
That's
they
not what
actually
was being
did good
pushed down your
character
throat.
development.
Yeah.
No, exactly. And it's like, but they're just showing that's who this character is. That's how they think. Now here's this, because this is the world they live in. This is like what that experience would be. And so, yeah, it's a lot. It makes you, whether, you know, it's interesting because maybe, you know, it's just an interesting way of like realizing what will piss you off or what will make something not enjoyable for you to watch versus what does. And it's like, why does it matter? Who am I? I'm nobody. Like, I'm just a dude. I think that all the time. I'm like, why do I give a shit like about any of this, like, or whatever? And it's, you know, but again, like for me, I think the reason I care is because it's just something where it's like, again, I've said it to Chris before. It's like, I don't want to hear Queen on the radio. I'm good. I don't need to hear Queen. I've heard enough Queen.
Yeah.
I feel like every time I turn the radio on for the longest time, it was Bohemian Rhapsody. And I'm like, dude, I'm good. I don't want to hear Queen right now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the way I feel about so much of these movies where they try and push a certain agenda or something. It's like, okay, like, what's the movie about? Is that what we're doing? Like, or are we just trying to are we just trying to like shoehorn in how we feel about the world, or it's like, are you actually going to develop a good plot and character here? And I feel like one battle after another was a perfect way of doing that, because I'm conservative and I'm sitting here watching this like, or I guess I'm conservative in today's world, but it's like I'm watching it and I'm just kind of like, I enjoy the movie. Thought it was a good movie.
Me too.
You know, and hats off to the guy and all the people they portrayed. And it's like, you know, it wasn't. I guess that's the thing too. I don't feel like the movie. That's the other thing. I don't feel like it didn't demonize or vilify necessarily to an extent either side, or it's like it just portrayed the story. And it's like, I think that's what I don't like is in certain movies when they're trying to intentionally vilify or a certain something, and it's like, I don't know.
No, I feel you. Like, there's a plot and there's a world exists where, conservative or not, you know, there's weird creep high-end organizations that exist.
Yeah.
Weird whatever. So I'm not denying that, but they didn't sit there and associate that with America or anything. I feel like they just present it as kind of personas and weird shit that happens. But here's this father and this daughter and this relationship and all this stuff that happens. And it's in this world because this story's about an ex-revolutionary. If I'm going to look up a revolutionary in modern times, it's probably tied to some BS like this, you know?
No, exactly. Yeah, no. So they did it, and again, fantastic. So, because I had heard a bunch about it, and people were like, "Oh man, it's just a it's a liberal this and that," and I'm like, "I'll watch it. You know, I'll give it a shot." And I was like, I actually liked it, and I think it was one of Leo's best performances. And honestly, the whole time I'm watching it, I feel like I'm watching. I felt like I was kind of watching a young Jack Nicklaus. Like young Jack Nicholson. Sorry, I always say I do that. Why do I always do that? I always do that. There's no way I'll ever not say the golfer. You can put if you put $100 on me, put your life on it for me to call Jack Nicholson Jack Nicholas. I will always get that messed up. Since I was a kid, I've done that. No,
he
I
totally,
swear.
dude. Totally.
But to me, he totally reminded me of him in that. And I'm like, this is like he's starting to morph into Jack Nicholson from The Departed. Like the way his hair was slicked back and kind of like, I don't know. I was getting these, but I mean, he's just showing how high caliber of an actor he is.
Part of that movie was honestly, and you could probably, a lot of people probably consider that last chase scene one of the best recent car chase scenes in cinema.
I agree. It was
two cars,
like
with the
I
perfect
said,
placement of the hills.
Yeah,
he was even talking. Or if you're talking about the timing of trying to get the shots with the cars being at certain times, I was sitting there thinking, well, I'm pretty sure I could come up with AI to help me come up with the timing. Either way, like the actual cars driving, like if they're trying to get them go full speed, chasing and not seeing each other.
The real time shot,
to where it's just like three cars,
like
just
creating
distance enough from each other to possibly be over one hill,
capture them all in one shot, like
and just have three cars,
like capturing it all.
Cool. Yeah.
No, it was fantastic. Like I said, really enjoyed it. So, just quick sidebar for now. You go back into your 62 movies.
Oh, that was good.
Sanjuro was your last one you just talked about. Yeah, but just wanted to mention that.
It brings up something, as humans, if you deal with it in watching a movie with the times we live in, whenever certain things are shoved in your face and you kind of get an idea that something is almost like promoted that didn't have merit. Beyond that, but that's not the case. There's artistic merit to this movie, but it's
exactly exactly. Like you said, there's artistic merit to it. You can go ahead and keep going.
Yeah. So let's see. So we touched on. Yep, we did, of course. Okay, what I have to do is because it's an important movie and actually watched this. I watched this within the last year, and I don't know why I would have, unless I thought this came out in a different year. But Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never seen it, but like I've seen parts of it because my mom watched it years ago.
It's one of those movies you see. It's like if you have a VHS, it was 2 VHS because it was so long.
Yes. Yes, it was ridiculous.
I tried to watch. Dude, why? I must have messed up or something because I don't know why I would go out of my way to try and watch this months ago if it wasn't the year it came out. Peter told you there's this Mr. Show skit that just makes a joke about Peter O'Toole being like, I'm not even going to. It's hard not to laugh when I was watching this movie. It was like in color, and it's just. He just seemed like he was clearly wearing makeup and effeminate the whole time in this movie. It was all. Something about the movie. I was just like, Peter O'Toole.
The English have a great hunger for desolate places. They hunger for Arabia. I think you are another of these desert-loving English.
That looks like that guy looks like the most Arabian person I've ever seen.
Of course I'm a man for the job. What is the job, by the way?
Have you no fear English?
My fear is my concern.
We need a miracle.
Grand sweeping epics of cinema. Like the scale of production, obviously, probably unmatched.
No, I know. I remember it.
It's going to be fun.
I remember having some trivia game where that was one of the answers of like highest gross or like budget or something for the movie, and this was like number one or something.
Yeah, I feel like the movie in the story and the direction that character could have been played by probably a large number of people. I feel like his character. I feel like the movie carried him. You know, I feel like the direction of it and the scale of it.
I think he's gone native. They think he's a kind of prophet. They do, or he does.
One more failure, and you will find yourself alone.
Who are you to know what can be done? Nothing is written.
You're the most extraordinary man I ever met.
You are using up your 9 lives very quickly.
For some men, nothing is written unless they write it.
Time to be great again, my lord.
I mean, it's definitely got the production quality of watching it.
If you watch the whole movie, it shouldn't be a problem. It's just like Peter O'Toole's character. You just have to watch it. Let me know. Maybe you get what I'm saying. I don't want to go too far down that path. Let's see. And so we had that. Oh, Dr. No. It's a classic James Bond came out that year. To Kill a Mockingbird we did. The Miracle Worker. Ooh, this one. So a Stanley Kubrick film came out this year. Quite controversial. And there's a remake that had, I believe, Jeremy Irons in the 80s. Maybe Lolita.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that was him.
This is like one of those movies you feel uncomfortable knowing what it's about in any time. Because it's basically this like what is it, a trailer? Deals with
Does it have anything to do
loving a younger girl?
Okay, I was gonna say, does it have anything to do with Roman Polanski?
Well, kind of.
I was gonna say, I feel like this is one of those movies. I think because I think there's a theory about him.
Ever make a movie of? Because Stanley Kubrick, we love respect, he does things with an intense seriousness and purpose. So I feel like you owe it to
That's it? Oh,
this is a teaser. I guess maybe that's all.
So there's a video I saw about it was like a round table of a bunch of actors years ago, and Robert Duvall was in there. And he was like, "Can I just say something about the great Stanley Kubrick?" And he was talking about how he was like he's like a worst nightmare of actors, or the worst enemy of actors. And he was like, 100 takes for a damn shot. I mean, what is that about, huh? And he was just like, talking about how he was saying I don't think, does he know the difference between the first shot and the 70th shot? And he was like, I'm serious. He was like, I think if you looked at he was like, his movies were good. He was like, but actor performances, he was like, I think any of his movies, it's the worst actor performances I've ever seen. He was like The Shining. He was like, worst actor performance I've seen for Jack Nicholson. Fuck. There it goes again.
What? Yeah. But
I said
for
Jack
him
Nicholson.
to make that the first point, I disagree, because I think Jack Nicholson seemed like he was losing his mind in that movie. It probably because Stanley Kubrick's making him lose his mind.
He probably was. So yeah, no, but I thought it was funny and interesting, and it's like,
well, it is, because
hey,
like when Tom Cruise talking about, like, as far as filming the movie, how intense and uncomfortable and like psychologically damaging that was. But I think it's like Kubrick wanting that to be what you see almost, But here's the 3-minute thing David Lynch talking about this.
Kubrick. No, I watched it with 3 other people. And Lolita is one of my favorite films. And so decided to watch it just the other night. Great music. The theme is a kind of a piano thing. So beautiful. It fits it so perfectly. I don't know who wrote that. But then there's Lolita's theme as well, which is a kind of a strange rock and roll, but it also works so perfect. Oh, it's filled with all kinds of things. I don't know what word I would use, but it's a story about, I guess, a time in America. And
it's only 3 minutes.
Sure, it's got cynicism swimming.
No, you're fine.
For sure. It's very funny, but it catches something under there somewhere that is kind of it catches hidden things, and
he's describing the world that he always
story, but
tries to show.
Performances, and it touches on so many truthful things. It's a great film. Well, there's Humbert is living a totally secret life.
It really is. You can see echoes of this
filled
Twin
with
Peaks.
paranoia and all kinds of longings and just
with the distraught father.
Suffering.
Yeah,
just one of the greatest moments. James Mason was so incredible.
Dude, there's crazy parallels there.
Yeah.
He went.
Distraught, the father of what's her name, Laura Palmer.
Secret longings and things,
A lot of times you see something and you don't need to talk about it.
Leland.
It's just there.
Yeah.
And that's.
He even looks like Leland.
Well, what makes anybody a good actor is making it real from a deep place, making it real, not a false note. Just making it real from a deep place.
That's pretty interesting. He started off talking about so and so's music, which is crazy because people have their own theme songs. Like what's her name's daughter in Twin Peaks something song, like when she dances in the diner. What's his name's daughter's song? They have a song like so and so's song. To where like people being associated with like a music that plays in the background. That's what he was started off talking about, which is, I love hearing him talk about a movie because it really helps me get out of my head about what to appreciate and think about, because it could be like he's sitting there watching a movie and he's keying in on these musical elements to tie into a character when they're on screen, where everyone else is probably watching, thinking about what's happening on scring. And one's right or wrong to talk about, but it just shows like, okay.
No, and I think that it was something I just realized like as I was watching it, and then you're pretty much saying it too, is that like obviously you see and you can tell by the way in which he talks about movies, and I think that oftentimes it's something that's kind of like, it's something that's almost cheesy, or maybe you've heard people say it or something or whatever. In some way, it's like, I just feel like he's built up like a sensitivity in a sense. He's like when you get high level at something, like for instance, when I was doing jiu-jitsu, I was training Brazilian jiu-jitsu at Machado for a while back when I was younger. And one of the guys that was there for a little bit was from like Brazil, but he was with his brother, Marco Santos. And they were in Dallas because they had been running a school in New York. Okay. But then they came to Dallas and they were going to open up one of the new Machado schools. And I was training with his younger brother, Mauricio. And this dude was just like, I didn't understand it. Like I would just be rolling with him. I never once felt resistance. I never once felt him like stop me from doing anything. And then all of a sudden I would just be like, why is everything going black? And I'm like, oh, he's choking me. And then I'm like, like, how did he get my arm? Like, okay. Yeah. Let go of that, please. And he was the softest. Didn't know like again, he was letting me do everything. And I never knew what the problem was. And like, point is with that is that it was like he had done it to a level where it was partially unconscious to him, but then too, it was like he had built a level of sensitivity to be able to, like to where if I tell you that and you're like, oh, okay, that you can't. It only goes so far me telling you versus experiencing it. And I think like I'm just trying to relate that to like what I feel like. How you were saying it's like David Lynch watches something. Like everybody else, we're just watching a scene play out and we're like, okay, we're waiting for something to happen. We're waiting for this big thing to happen. Whereas it's like there's something I feel like everybody can build up over time where it's like of trying to see the underlying thing or trying to feel the scene, trying to feel the moment or something. Whereas like I said, so much of it is we're just waiting for the one big scene stimulus to drive us to that next stimulus for the next scene.
Moment of meaning without
exactly. And it's like
it's leading to. Yeah.
Yeah. The silence, the door close, the coffee, the sound of the coffee maker, the dead space and air in between. And you're like, okay, well, what's going on? What am I? And it's like, rather than just because I feel like so much of the time we're sitting there being like trying to figure out what's going on versus when you just stop that. And I think you can, at that point, you can actually start to feel it in a way. I don't
know. I
because I feel like that's,
and I think that speaks to the value of any movie that you enjoyed that you really liked watching it the first time, watch it again.
Yeah.
So you can watch it not trying to figure things out. And then you can soak in what's actually like being presented, like purely, It's
no,
funny.
100.
It just made me think the way you're describing the way that guy could be, just like it's not the same thing, but it's like if I'm playing with my daughter or you're playing with like a kid and they're doing stuff, and then you just kind of like grab them, I can just pick her up and do this, and I'm like, I'm being gentle. And there's nothing I do, but all of a sudden, like, oh, I've holding her like this. It's like, how did I even get like that?
Yeah.
Just because I'm that much beyond her,
Yeah, no, exactly. No, yeah. No, I know what you mean. I know, like, I get what you're saying. But yeah, no, it's like just watching that, I had that thought. It's like, dude, he has he has built such a sensitivity of watching movies and films to where it's like, that's why, and he does such I love the guy so much because he's done such a good job of trying to help.
Embraced him.
Well, yeah, and I think the reason I have is because, dude, like I said, he's just nice to even listen to his interviews. It's relaxing because it's really relaxing, I think, just because it's like
empowering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it is because it's just like, it's funny because it doesn't, I'm cutting grass. Like, what do I do for a living? Why is it that listening to David Lynch is, and I think it's just because, maybe the place he's coming from of, like, I just really appreciate how he's tried to impart all of the way he pretty much sees and feels about film and stuff like that, and being a human in the midst of it all. Because like, I honestly, if I'm being honest, a big part of me for the longest time, it kind of like didn't like all of that. I feel like everybody was into art and film and it was all like, trendy. And I was just kind of like, that's fucking stupid. All this film and art bullshit. And it's like, and then I start listening to David Lynch and I hear how he talks and like some of the stuff he does. And I'm like, oh, okay, like that's art. Like other shit I saw is like, quote, representing it or being what I thought. It's like that wasn't necessarily. It's like
a
to see
what a true artist is in the mindset and heart that you can have in that almost like.
Well, not just that, but too, to realize that like, oh, that's actually what a real artist is, not like somebody who lives in Denton. No offense, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, I'm painting that archetype in like, I know,
I'm
like
just thinking like how
so
many
it's
people
like,
you had in your life to even be kind of associated with, to where it's like people around like the bad idea of a Christian. You just didn't really know any people. There were artists that seemed like, okay, they seem like kind of snobby weirdos versus, okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. I had always, everything art and film and stuff was just all this abstract, like, gobbledygook from people who I could tell didn't know what the hell they were trying to do anyways, but they didn't know what they were trying to do. And so that's the thing that's funny for me about David Lynch, is that it's like, no, David actually like knows what he's trying to do, or he has a point or a thought behind it. And it's like, no, you guys are trying to recreate Pollux. Like, that's what I felt like whenever it came down to film and stuff. It was like, oh, you saw, you know, a fucking David Lynch film, and now you're trying to like do David Lynch shit. And it's like, no, you know, you have to do all the other stuff to get the David Lynch shit. It's like to get that same effect or whatever. But yeah, no, I really enjoy the, just hearing all the random stuff he has to say. And recently I heard I saw a clip of him on, behind the scenes or whatever. Somebody recorded it with him in Twin Peaks, and they were like, somebody, as he's watching a shot or like in the middle of like doing a scene or something, this one lady whispers to him something about, maybe we should trim it down, or should we cut it down some? And he's like, pulls his headphones off, and he's like, for God's sakes, what is with you people? I'm serious. What the fuck? Trim the scene? I don't understand. What fucking difference does it make how long the scene is? And I'm like, I love this guy, because I'm sitting here sometimes like, what does it matter, Matt? How long we talk? You know what I mean? It's just so like, I loved it. I just loved how he was like, he's into it. And I saw like a comment on the video where it was, and it summed it up perfectly. But the guy was saying it was like, that's like telling Van Gogh to like not use as many colors in his paintings, like telling David Lynch to like cut the scene down. Like, maybe we should trim it down. And it's like, look at how fucking ridiculous that really sounds in the grand scheme of things. Like, somebody like where does that come in? Like, what team do you work for that it's like, let's cut 5 minutes off this scene? Like,
dude, I feel like that's the
the thought process.
That's the commercial
it's
world
like,
of most of it. They make shows that are fit a certain thing, and they think about making scenes as they can. But that's what David Lynch, whenever the Return came out in 2017, those episodes were like all long. Like longer.
Dude, and that's what I love about him, is because I feel like I think maybe that's I do love his main saying. It was like, you never give up Final Cut. Like, he learned it with Dune or whatever, and you can just tell, like, hearing him talk about, I just love when they're like, maybe we should trim it, and he's like, cut, what the fuck is with you people?
Dude,
it's just going off about how long. It's like, I really don't understand. Yeah, and I found out too, he also he doesn't like all the extra behind the scenes stuff. And did you know about that, or have you heard him talk about that? How he was saying he doesn't like he was just saying that, it's cool and it's nice to see how behind the scenes of movies and everything works. And he was like, I think it takes away from the film. And he was like, I think we have to do everything we can to just protect the film and let it just be what it is on its own.
Dude,
and not,
I agree with that. Makes sense.
Not do all that other shit. And it does make sense, because it's like all you're left with is that, and everybody else can talk about it. But it is kind of nice to where it's like those movies that just came out, and it's like, that's all you got. There's no behind the scenes. There's no explanation. It's like, and it's just left for people to digest and talk about. There's something, I think he is right about that.
I don't need to hear about the role that they went to paint. It's like, this movie is, it's like a painting. Well, do I need to see a story behind everything that went into this painting, No, I agree.
So I thought that was interesting. So sorry for my little rant.
Don't sorry. I'm just so happy that you love David Lynch as much as you do. So I just have one more trailer, and this is kind of probably the takeaway movie for me this year. Which technically I believe it's a movie, but it's basically shot. It's like a bunch of still images, almost like a bunch of like pictures that are told in like a story, not stop motion. But I'll play the trailer. It's called La Jetée, Lajetee. And I only knew about it because I loved movies like 12 Monkeys so much that I researched them. And 12 Monkeys, a lot of that movie actually borrowed or took from ideas presented in this movie with like time travel and even certain things. And even David Bowie did some things and had a music video that was like basically partially like re-envisioning parts of this movie. So it's kind of like a weird dystopian time travel movie in still images that.
Huh.
I'll just play the trailer.
And it's Lage what?
La Jetée.
It's the story of a man
La Jetée.
marked by an image of his childhood. The violent scene which upset him, and whose meaning he was to grasp only years later, happened on the main pier at Orly, Paris airport, sometime before the outbreak of World War III. Orly, Sunday. There the parents used to take their children to watch the departing planes. Of this particular Sunday, the child whose story we are going to tell was bound to remember the sight of a frozen sun, of a stage setting at the end of the pier, and of a woman's face. Nothing tells memories from ordinary moments. Only afterwards do they claim remembrance on account of their scars. That face, which was to be a unique image of peacetime to carry with him through the whole wartime, he often wondered if he had ever seen it, or if he had dreamed a lovely moment to catch up with the crazy moment that came next. The sudden roar of the woman's gesture, the fall of a body, shrieking people. Only later did he realize that he had seen a man dying.
Wow.
That the whole movie is like that. Like the way
Really?
the images changed, yeah. It was doing very interesting things for 1962 and carried themes and ideas.
No, that's
forward.
pretty crazy. I mean, the fact that it was just that way the whole movie.
Yeah, and it's not like super long. It's at least an hour, I think.
Let's just watch the whole thing right here. I'm kidding.
Yeah. So Chris Marker, a prisoner posts. Let's see. It's a photo Roman told almost entirely through still photos. Yeah, it was the grandfather of 12 Monkeys, of course. Oh yeah, and the word. Let me go to that word that I was saying earlier. That we need to. Come on. Da, da, da. Okay. Professor's terminology break. Brechtian distancing. I would show you this word. I'm gonna have to look up. Oh, come on. I'm about to look it up, but I just want you to see this word. Verfremdungseffekt. Verfremdungseffekt.
The hell is that?
Pronunciation. Okay, look up the pronunciation of this word. It's pronounced as Verfremdungseffekt. 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 The actual technique pioneered to prevent audience emotional immersion, making the familiar seem strange. So viewers critically analyze the play's social and political themes rather than being passively accepting them as natural or inevitable. So that's kind of saying, forcing people to be reminded that you're watching a play or a movie is to consider that outside perspective within the whole of it all. Verfremdungseffekt.
That's really crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. A technique.
So put that into our film vocabulary of mise en scene and Mirso Venzersticks.
Yeah. So here's an analogy. Imagine you're playing a video game and the character suddenly turns to the camera and complains about the controls. So you stop being the character and start analyzing the game itself. There you go. Verfremdungseffekt.
Verfremdungseffekt.
Shove that up your mise-en-scene.
Verfremdungseffekt. I feel like you have to pronounce words like that. You have to make a face when you do it. Verfremdungseffekt.
It probably helps you know how to say it.
Verfremdungseffekt. You know what I mean? There's some
916
languages I feel like that are best spoke if you mess your face up too.
There's a lot of things that are easier to say
Like if
when
I
you're
was to
making a
speak
face.
Russian, if I speak when you do Russian accent, you look like you have your mouth open.
Angry.
You have very not good look on face when you speak Russian.
I don't want to be happy.
Do you know what I mean? Do you ever do that?
Dude, I do stuff like that.
Well,
in
the
there all the time.
Germans, I'm very serious. When I speak German, I have to be very. These are shitty accents, dude. Let's wrap this up.
The thing is, Russians are.
Let's wrap this up.
I think Germans the most. I got about to spin the wheel. I feel
Okay.
like the Germans are more serious than the Russians.
Yes, the Germans are very serious, very unanimated. Very the face not make any movements. We are very. You Americans are so prude.
Here it goes.
American prudishness.
1968.
No, I'm French.
No, we can't do the same day. Here we go. I think we did 96. Yeah, we did 96.
Yeah, the 96. Yes, sir.
We got a chunk of 60s to go through. Oh, I want to get different in the 60s.
Come on, sugar. Hey,
2000.
hey,
We did 90. Dude, we did all those. 88. We've done 80. No, 88. Sweet. Back in the 80s. 1988.
1988. I like it. I like it. I'm ready for it.
Buddy. Awesome.
I need a hero. Hey, so we were speaking about Christmas.
We were.
So does that put a bow on our movies from 1962?
Yes, we're done.
Shoot the confetti off. Cue the band. No. Fuck. What was I gonna say?
Well, Christmas just happened.
Christmas. Yes, for Christmas, it made me think of our next guest.
What?
Our next guest that we will be having on our show is a reoccurring guest. This is news from Matthew. See, I like to announce guests for the show.
By all means, Mikey, who are you?
Live. So Matt, this is Matt's live reaction to figuring out who's coming on the show next. And it should be the first episode of the new year. Look at Matt; he's hanging on every word. Boyco, our friend Christopher Boyco.
She's been holding
He will be joining. I have, and not only have I been doing that. Yeah, not only that, I have also
get into our Instagram anymore.
Don't worry about it. I ordered some paintings from him, and I gave Boyco paintings for Christmas. I gave paintings for Christmas.
Shit.
I was giving out paintings. I bought some paintings, and I gave a couple away, and I have more to give, and yeah.
That's amazing, Michael. I'm so proud of you. Now,
I was like,
badass art, but you're giving somebody amazing, unique art, but you're also doing something more than that to just perpetuate he's a legit artist, but it's just like, it's amazing. I love it.
No, I love his work, and the fact that, because like I said, I mean, it's like, I mean, to get his work is like, I feel like what I'm getting, I'm lucky to get his work, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And most of his big pieces are good money, get a lot of money, and they're damn worth it. I'll tell you that. Yeah, no, and like I said, it's like seeing him in person is insane, and it's like the fact that I'm able to afford his paintings to be able to give to some people is incredible. And
yeah, I love it, dude.
Yeah, like I said, just wanted to go check out our Instagram. Go check our Instagram right quick. Go look. Wait. When should you expect him or the painting?
The Boyco knocking on my door.
Boyco, that's funny. I was gonna say you could check our Instagram real quick and see the two paintings. Two of them I gave away to show some of the audience that may be watching. It's gonna be like our first newest post.
But I'm sharing it, just because I'm trying to keep it explained.
It's okay.
With this.
Yeah, it's okay. I get it.
The things you just shared, right? Here we go.
Yeah, the two posts. You'll see them. You'll know what they are.
The gift of Boyco art this year. These two beautiful pieces found new homes today in Texas. So see the first one there.
Yeah.
It's almost. How do you describe? It's almost like metal spurs or something. But
Which one?
The first one, the red one with like the more red bulbous.
Yeah, yeah. That's like to me. It almost looks like a heart. My mom saw it. My mom thought it looked like. I gave it to Chris. I gave that one to Chris. Yeah, I gave that. That's the one I gave to Chris.
Very cool.
I love that painting, and I gave that one. This is also one that I think is incredible. I gave that one to Randall.
That's cool.
Like, and I mean, it's the more the thing that's really crazy about his is that you look at it and you get the first picture you see. It's almost like a Rorschach. Everybody, I feel like, almost sees something a little different.
Yeah.
And the thing is that it's like you get the initial. How old is it?
I'm sorry, I don't distract you, but yeah, it's got. I just remember when we talked. That's been a while ago, but just going through all this stuff, and I don't remember seeing these, but who knows?
No, this one. He painted this one. That's the thing. These are the smaller ones. These are smaller canvases. They're not as big ones. They're the same size as the one I got for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, he doesn't have pictures. Like, these are ones that he sent me, like a private message of the ones he had for sale. And so these were some that were in that, and I selected a handful that were in that. I was like, yeah, I'd like to buy these.
So what do you see here? What do you see on this one? Just you personally.
That one to me is upon first glance is like two people. It can be two separate people, or it could be the same person struggling with something, like two people within the same person, or it can be seen as like how, like two people together, either wrestling or trying to, whatever. But then also I see like the scales of justice too.
Yes.
Like, you can kind of see like almost the scales of justice mixed with, like I said, it can either be one being itself battling something. And I think, again, I think as far as we understand with what Chris was saying, it's like, that's kind of the beauty of it. Like,
oh yeah, it is the beauty of it.
Make of it what you want. Like, I don't know that, I'm not sure. I would like to ask him like what these two, or at least this one, I was curious about this one. I'm like, okay, does this one have a meaning behind it? Because it does seem like it has some kind of,
dude, I love it, man.
intention behind it more than the other one. Yeah, I gave that one to Randall. I thought that one was really neat.
It's very thought-provoking,
the other one,
man.
It is. It's a super thought-provoking piece, in my opinion.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. Because I want to ask him I hope I would be happy no matter what he says, but almost like it just came out of his mind. Because I'm not an artist whatsoever.
And I think, and from what he's,
if I wanted to make something weird, not weird, but anything, like, I couldn't try to make something that's interesting,
No, no. And the crazy part is, I wish you could zoom in on the photo, but like, again, like I messaged him and thanked him, and I was like explaining to him in the messages that like one of the things I love most about it is that, like, you look at it and you're automatically like, oh, well, that's really pretty. Like, I enjoy this painting. Like, this is a really well done painting. But then from there, you start going into it, and as I was like turning the painting in the light, it's like you could start to see all of the different, like, one way you turn the painting when the light's not hitting it, or like you're not getting any reflection and you just see the painting for what it is, but then you turn it, you get the reflection of the light hitting the oils, and you see all of the different brush strokes.
Right? Yeah.
You see that, like, that's the thing that blows my mind about these.
So, yep.
You there?
Yeah. You're just chopping up a little bit.
I don't know. I lost. Yeah, hang on. We'll wait for it to come back.
Yeah, no, I'm just got a pretty good close-up view of that second picture where you can kind of really start to see.
Hold on. I lost my footage. Hold on a second.
No, good. I'm just kind of describing being closer up on the image to be able to kind of see. Yeah, just that the 3D elements, the physicality of it. Oh, Mikey will be back. open. Pretty cool stuff, man. Boyco is a true artist of but for me, I love his work. It really speaks to me. I truly connect with it. Because then I think anyone can if they're open to it. You know, it's the beauty of art, man. There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just kind of talking, looking.
Okay,
at this
cool.
bad
We
boy
back?
here.
Okay, cool. So we're
I'm
still
zoomed in a
live?
bit more, but yeah, dude, I love it.
All right.
So we're
Okay,
gonna have
we
him
still
on
live?
30 minutes.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say like about the paintings or whatnot. Is that it's like it's just mind blowing seeing all of the different directions. He's like that's what makes it kind of I think look so 3-dimensional or so real is because you would think to paint some of these things he would just do the same line, right, or just do the same direction, but it's like they're going different directions, all these little brush strokes, and I'm just like how do you do different directional brush strokes and somehow still be able to create an overall picture? I don't get it. I you know what I mean, like
No, I get what you mean, and it's just the
because
understanding of how to do like subtle color changes.
It's beautiful
to give depth here. Like, how
yeah,
many strokes were here to create so much detail? You know what I mean?
no idea,
Like this
no
here.
idea.
All these little
No, I
tiny
know.
strokes to give so much information to such a dark area. It's insane.
And to me, the fact that it's like it's not a big painting, it's small, and it's like, but
That's the
for me,
crazy
it's like
part.
for it to be I know, and for me, it's like for it to be such a, it's kind of funny how that works. For me, it's almost like it's somehow
Yeah.
there's some level. It's like a big painting is awesome, right? It's cooler to look at. It's like on your wall, it takes up,
Big
you can see it. But
paintings. We
there's
like
almost
big paintings.
we like big paintings, really big ones. We like everywhere. As soon as you walk in, we want you to see. Look at that big oil. We love big oil.
Big
Love oil.
oil.
You wouldn't have great paintings like this without big oil. But no, it's like, but with having such a beautiful painting and such a small, there's something like special or like intimate about that, right? About having like something so special, like in just a small package. That's how I feel about you. You're just such a
That's amazing. Well,
such a
it's cool
sweet
to
little
think
guy.
about owning a painting. Like you gave me that one for my birthday last year.
Yeah.
It's a small square thing, but I know that this like pure artist sat there with this piece of material, spending however long crafting this, visual journey, this expression,
Yeah.
and to just have that, dude. That's one thing. Like owning something an artist has made like that,
Yeah.
they really give. That's themselves. Like that's their time and their
Yep.
effort. Literally the manifestation of that. And
Yeah.
it's so beautiful. That's probably the best gift I'll ever get throughout my life. So yeah.
No, yeah. No, I mean, it was. I couldn't have given the guy my money fast enough. Like whenever, like I knew I could buy some, I was like, yeah, dude, I got to get these, just because like you, I'm like, to me, it's I don't know, it's a priceless gift. Like I
Yeah.
feel like it's one of those things, like it's priceless. I can't,
It's amazing. I love that we know.
But yeah.
And I love that we know Aaron. He's been our
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so either way, I was talking to Chris, and he was just in the conversation about getting these paintings. He was saying because we talked before about having him back,
Dude, yeah.
and in that
Just to
conversation, he
talk
was saying he'd love to. Yeah, and that's what he was saying, just to chit chat. But he was saying like, love to be back on. So I said, yeah, like we'll see about like making it be the first episode of the year or something, getting you back in.
Yeah.
So that'd be awesome just
If
to see what
good
he's
for
been up
next Saturday,
to. And
let me know. Or whenever.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was gonna hit him up and just let him know like what we're planning on and what that'll be like, and
we can flex for him, whatever.
Yeah, in that episode, obviously, I'll be at your place so that it makes it easier for balancing the screen gumbo here, so that we're on one screen.
Gumbo. But yeah, man, good stuff. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, so we can talk about just a few more things before we get out of here.
Yeah,
I kind of want to.
Okay.
Do you have anything real quick or go or?
I mean, you can go.
No, nothing. I don't have anything. If you had something, I had fillers.
There's something I I want to bring up
Let's talk.
just for the sake of the depth. This that's his bit life, and it's kind of silly, but we just like Christmas, right? In December 25th, and less people forget, which is I'm looking for Christmas movies to show my daughter. Showing her tons is great, lovely Christmas movies. But you got to go out of your way to find something that even introduces the concept of the nativity. Now it's crazy.
Yep, I knew you were gonna. Yeah, I agree.
You know, and so and that is what it is. But then it's like, okay, well, this is Christmas is the birth of Jesus, right? But then it was interesting. I was listening to Sean Ryan release an episode recently, which is great. He had Lee Strobel on there. And what do you know about why or how we came to December 25th being the day of Jesus' birth?
I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here to claim to know how we know that.
I didn't either whatsoever. I just kind of chalked it up to people at some point in time figured something out to pick this date. It was cool. So I heard this interview, Lee Strobel. He's done a lot of great. He's written a lot of books. He was a journalist who was basically trying to disprove Christianity at one point and did all this research and ended up becoming a Christian because everything he found made it more easy to believe the truth of it than the alternative. And so he's doing this book researching like the history of Christmas and whatnot. And so apparently, Easter like deals with the resurrection has his death. So back then in times, Jews and a lot of people, they didn't celebrate birthdays weren't a thing. Like people didn't track birthdays like they do now. But of course they did when people died, right?
Yeah.
So that's why there isn't really like a definitive record of Jesus' birth because they didn't track that. But when Jesus died, yeah, that's tracked well, right? And so he died on March 25th, and there's this whole school of thought that deals with, I guess, God and his being in perfection in different things that they believe that Jesus likely died on the same day he was born, which is interesting, right? So that would mean that theoretically he was born on March 25th, and that conception being an average 9 months, 9 months from March 25th is December 25th. And that's how it came to that, which I never knew.
Wow, that's interesting.
Just, not a definitive thing, but that's like one of probably the main positions. The only one I've heard that even makes sense that explains how it's December 25th is that people, if you choose to accept, okay, that he was born on the same day he died, he'd been, or not born, conceived.
Conceived,
so
yeah.
9 months after being conceived, 9 months till being born. Conceived the day he was died, so conceived March 25th. 9 months later, December 25th, and that's how we got there. I just thought that was very interesting because I didn't have any information to go on up to this point, and I'm 41.
No, yeah, and it's it's not something that I necessarily, I don't know, just how I am. There's some of those things that I for whatever, call it what you want, I don't get hung up on some of those things.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? There's some people I saw like, yeah, when I saw something not long ago where it was like, it was showing a clip from like Egypt, I think in 2018 or something. And people were like tearing ornaments off of a Christmas tree. And like, I guess they were protesting Christmas in Egypt or something. And somebody was saying that it's because it's like, they don't recognize that that's actually when Jesus was born or something. And I'm like, for me, I don't know. I don't get hung up on, it's like, okay, so if we don't know when he was born, so you're saying it would be okay to celebrate his birthday every day? Is that okay? Can I celebrate Jesus? Can I say happy birthday to you, Jesus, every day? Is that okay then?
Amen,
I guess
brother.
that's what we have to do. If we don't know when Jesus was born, then what we have to do is say thank you to him every day then.
Right.
So,
If you're
okay.
going to be mad
What
about
are you
doing the
saying?
wrong
Yeah.
day, let's go ahead and get it right and
You're
say
right,
every day.
then. You're right. Let's say, because it could be today that Jesus was born. So I guess we should just say happy birthday, Jesus. You know, it's like, what's the, I never understood some of that semantical argument. It's like, he was born, wasn't he? Did he exist? Oh, okay. Well,
Exactly.
you know, well, it wasn't at this time. It's like, go outside, nerd.
And I think that's how we get to being our age and not really knowing anything, because it doesn't, those details don't really matter in the grand scheme of who he was.
Would it be cool to know? Would it really be interesting and fun to know some of those facts?
Fun,
for
true facts about Jesus. This is why he was born here.
Yeah, it would be it would be great to know some of those, like to know like at what point, at what time that this happened and things like that. And it's like, but
I do love it because it just shows the details
to try and get hung up.
Know these things about someone, even if they believe them or not.
Yeah,
there's something important about this guy.
Oh yeah,
regardless of what you think, there's a reason this guy is still talked about. You know. So.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean it's.
But that was it. I just thought that was interesting, kind of like learning that. Because I was like, okay, it's nice to at least have something to fall back on, because I never had anything to say about it.
No, I never really had anything. I didn't know anything about it, or wasn't anything I saw pop up.
Save that for something to share with a random stranger.
You're right. Yeah, exactly. But no, man, it's funny.
You got, buddy? I know you had something. You had something.
Bring up. Well, before we get off of that, or something, just a random quick question to like. To you, did Christmas like this year? I know we talked about it a little bit, but just approaching it and the whole overall feel of the holiday, did it feel any different? Like aside from, or has it felt?
But my last couple of years have been. I don't know that I could like get a sense check on
a good barometer
the general
for it.
Society, because like last year,
no,
I was still 2 years out of like I was in a headspace looking for a job still.
Yeah,
so for me, I can't say, but at the same time, there's easy reasons to know why I might have kind of been numb to some things I should have been aware of.
No, it was not that. I was just curious, like if it felt like, it just sounds like it was an overall positive feeling around the holiday for you, right? Or it sounds like, or
it's probably the best might be the best Christmas emotionally I've ever had.
Oh, okay, cool. And I kind of got that. I was kind of getting that
vibe. That's
probably why. And I'm glad that is. I'm really like happy to know that. I was just curious because it's like I had kind of this Christmas had kind of felt weird for me. And then like I talked to my mom and my dad had kind of said the same thing. And then they had talked to somebody else, or there was somebody else that they're friends with that was talking, and they said they kind of had that same feeling where it was like it just felt off to them for whatever reason. And then like my girlfriend had kind of even said that she just kind of felt off too. And so it was interesting. I was just curious to know if it was, and I did, and I've been trying to unpack it to an extent since I've figured out that, okay, like it wasn't just me. I was quietly thinking on my own, Christmas was feeling weird this year, and something wasn't
that anymore. Like what you mean by feeling weird?
Just weird. I just
like lacking things weren't as prominent, or you didn't see or hear things that you normally do, or just you didn't hear your friends or anyone even caring about. I'm just trying to like.
It's hard to put the finger on exactly.
Okay. That's fine. I think it is. I just didn't know if there might be something you could find.
I think that it's it just it felt like it was like having to rediscover. It's like you're having to remember why you're doing it all, and why is it it's like it was almost because that's kind of like
I'd be right there with you, and that just makes me realize like Christmas continues to persist because of children,
Yeah, and I was absolutely, and it was like, but again, it was just interesting that like I was kind of in my head about it, and then I hear.
So what did you do on Christmas? Like we just at your house?
I had it with I had it like Christmas with my mom, dad, brother, and then
Did
my no, they were at their place. So then my mom and dad went and saw them. I wasn't feeling too great, honestly. So like I stayed behind. I'm feeling better now.
Seeing the whole family.
Well, it was before.
Maybe
it could have. Yeah, I don't know. It was just interesting because also, like I said, there was people that weren't in.
Yeah.
Excuse me, in my family that were also like kind of saying the same thing, that the holiday had just kind of felt off, like approaching it. Their whole, and that's what I kind of told Mom. I had a conversation with her about it.
Maybe
no, I don't.
Just the
I think it's
zeitgeist.
to me, it's almost like it's something deeper than just that. It's not just society. Exactly. I think it could be, and it's like I was telling my mom. I think that some of the reason I think it could be feeling that way is that for years, like my mom and dad, and it's like. For years you have these reasons for doing it, and it's like in buying the gifts for your kids or your grandkids is the thing, and that's kind of the reward in a way. It's like that's what's giving you the purpose. And then it's like, but then all your kids grow up, and then even your kids, once they've grown up, you're still buying them stuff, and they're still buying you things, and now your kids are buying your we're buying our niece and nephew stuff, and like, so you put it into that, but then your niece and nephew get to a certain age and they kind of start getting everything they want, and eventually it's like you're looking around and it's like, okay, well, who are we doing it for, in a sense of like. And I think that I was like kind of telling my mom is that it's like, I think it's a remembering of like, okay, what is this all about anyways? And it's like we've kind of been pickpocketed in the sense of like, there's a large part of it,
opportunity of just
exactly of like getting everybody out and about and like buying gifts, and and it's like that has become the main point of it versus, and I think that's the thing that I was just trying to like get across to my mom or like flesh out with her, is that I do feel like it's like, just a reminder that like, I don't know, maybe it's just the fact that we hadn't been acknowledging all over these years. We've just been going through the motions versus really thinking about what it actually means. And it's like you're going through the motions of buying the packages, of doing these things and buying these gifts versus thinking it's like, well, okay, this actually,
we
it's
need
about
to like make Jesus and those things a prominent reminder.
And family, and family, and two, in the comfort you find in family, and what love means, and it's like
gifts.
No, and it's like, again, what love means. It's like He is love, and what He provides for you, and it's like giving that to your family, and like it doesn't cost any money, so I don't have to buy you anything for you to love me, and you don't have to buy me anything for me to love you. And it's like coming back to some of those, I do think that eventually. And I don't know, maybe it's a personal thing. It could be anecdotal, but I just, I don't know. I just think that eventually you go, people do go through changes, or you go through, but I just found it interesting how there had been more people outside of my sphere or like immediate contact with that I heard them saying that like Christmas felt weird and Christmas didn't have the same, again, it's like, it's almost like you look up one day and you realize, you're like, wait, why am I doing this way? It's like,
and the thing is, it's interesting. My takeaway from that is I would certainly be feeling the same way if I didn't have my 2-year-old daughter.
No,
and that reminds me, like, I need everyone that I love, that loves her, that she loves. I need to make sure we see each other at least once in a Christmas celebration of sorts.
Yeah.
Because for what it's worth, I mean, you still feel that way on the Grand Hole, but if there was at least one night where you get to spend with Sheila and like see her play with the magic of children and just all that stuff, blah blah blah. But there's a truth in it. Like, I would love for what she has made it alive for me more than I can imagine.
Yeah.
Just thinking like, if just sharing that with people is a process of in a way of sharing the love aspect of it, because we should have seen each other. We should have done something. That's our bad for not making that happen. You're
right. Yeah, I mean,
like we normally did see each other. Like
most of us do, but I mean, most of us.
It was an off year. Next year.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it
happen. We'll make sure.
No, and that's what I mean. That's what I mean about how like I feel like these certain traditions we've had for so long have been good for a while and they've worked and I'm not saying we abandon them, and I'm not saying that, but I think it's I think as it changes, I think my need
started Mikey and Mimas.
It's like, I think my need around the holiday changes of like, I do enjoy getting people gifts. It's fun for me. I do enjoy like buying people stuff, but like, I think that again, it's just more important to, maybe make the day, again, make it about something else. And then also too, just the remembrance of things that it's like, just your family and, being around those you love.
Yeah. We need to do better about the next year. We will.
I lost your camera feed. Do you see that?
Yes, I do. You can hear me though, right?
I can hear you. I can hear you just fine. But before to jump on to the next subject before we get out of here, we had talked about it the other week, and I just kind of wanted to get your opinion. We had talked about video games, and I had mentioned cheating. I had mentioned cheating in games. We talked about that, and then I've been playing some games this week and whatnot. And there is, it's like I was playing PUBG the other day, and I hadn't played it in quite a while. Re-downloaded it, got all the updates done, and yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, I'm getting mouse and keyboarded 100%. It's like getting smacked across map.
For the casual listener, what does getting mouse and keyboarded mean?
Yeah, so obviously it's like everybody that plays a game, they have, they're usually using a controller. If you're playing on Xbox or PlayStation, you're playing with the controller against other players. So you're using your two little thumbsticks to control your guy's movement, and you're also using your other thumbstick to control his aim. So one controls
gamer versus PC gamer.
Yeah, so a console gamer is using his two thumbs to be able to move a single dot reticle around the screen, and a PC gamer is using his mouse and his keyboard. And so he's aiming with his mouse and he's moving with his keyboard. So he's controlling his running with his fingers, and he's shooting with his mouse. And so it's like, if you're sitting there looking at a screen,
if you're very well versed with the mouse, the level of fine-tuned accuracy you're able to get, because you have your whole arm for big movements, then you get your wrist for subtle movements.
And then
if you were to take like a level 10 of just randomly mouse controller versus thumb controller, the accuracies could be higher on the mouse just by the nature of the device.
Yeah.
Like, a thumbstick just doesn't give you that level of accuracy.
No, because think about it, like with the thumbsticks, the thumbsticks are, to me, as best as I can describe it, if you were to physically put it into physical things, is like, okay, take your elbow and point at something. Take your elbow and point.
Yeah.
Okay, now take your finger and point.
Yeah.
That's mouse and keyboard. Like that's analog controller versus a mouse. It's like, what do you point? It's like that, right? I'm trying to. Okay, which one do you want? Push on this keypad. I want. Bam! I hit the 4. Damn it! I want to. Boop.
Exactly.
No, it's like that's a mouse. It's like you have that. Oh, what is that over there? It's like I can just go like this, bink, and then bam, you're right there. It's like, whereas me, I have to kind of drift over, come back. It's like you're not. It's so much like you said. You have your whole arm, your shoulder.
Cheating as much as the fact that you're being in a player pool, you're forced to play against this like PC players, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Like Chris just said, he's like, I've never missed clicking an icon on my desktop. It's like, but no, there is. So you can turn off crossplay on some games, but the problem is that certain games you can't turn it off.
Yeah.
Like for instance, Fortnite, you cannot turn off crossplay on Fortnite, and it's one of those games again where it's like, it's funny how at one point I didn't want to play Fortnite because it was like it's just a bunch of twitchy kids. I'm not trying to play that.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Now
he's on Fortnite when I turn on.
No, not 24. No, but some of my friends, whenever they'd done the update before last, they had it was the Simpsons theme. And so I had never played it before then. And they're like, yo, you got to play it. So I downloaded it, got on. I was like, oh, it's kind of fun. Like, they had some of the guns I liked, and like the overall theme was cool. It was all Simpsons theme. I'm like, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And so they kind of got me in that way. But then it had enough of the shooter mechanics and dynamic, and then some of the like stupid shit you didn't like about Call of Duty, but that kind of fits with Fortnite and doesn't piss you off.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, yeah, I'm like a little cartoon guy. Like, why do I care that I can run and slide and jump high? Like, that makes sense. Like, it doesn't make sense for a real life soldier and 300 pounds of gear to run, slide, and jump 16 feet in the air. Like, that's not believable. But it's believable for my, fucking banana skin character to do that.
There you go.
But it was like, it's funny how
a co-op thing, or did you fight other people?
No, it's all multiplayer. So it's all multiplayer. So So the Simpsons theme on the Fortnite, the last one before they updated it, it was like you dropped into Springfield, just like Battle Royale. You jumped off the bus and you flew into Springfield, picked a spot, you landed. But it was all so like you could find the Simpsons house, you could find Moe's Tavern, you could find the city hall.
Did you just kind of journey and venture and look
so
around?
you would drop anywhere, pick up guns, and then try and get to the final circle.
You would just stumble across these landmarks throughout.
Landmarks, and then too, there's like people you can hire or you can get stuff from people. You can fight Evil Homer and kill Evil Homer and get guns. You can kill Krusty the Clown and get a Krusty pistol.
Yeah,
and it was like it's like it shoot a balloon.
Fun.
The first shot you hit somebody with, it tie a balloon to them and they'd float in the air. So it was like awesome. It's kind of funny stuff, but like either way, through playing that game, you run into mouse and keyboard guys where it's like. The reason I'm saying it's mouse and keyboard is because it's like, the dudes across the map, you see like, oh, I just saw the glint of his scope or something, or I saw something, or you see where the gunfire's coming from.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, you see one shot that misses, and then you're just like, there's like 10 in a row that are just like on point. And you're like, just knocked. By the time you realize you get hit, you're half health. And then by the time you start moving, you're all the way gone. Like, it's literally that bad. It's like, by the time I realize I'm getting shot, I'm half health. And then by the time I start moving, it's like, I'm knocked.
Dang.
So there's no way that is not analog. Like, and there's people twitching on you, like sweeping around full 360 or 180, like, and you're like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
Dude.
I didn't
come on,
stand
dog.
a chance.
Come on, dog. But so yeah, it's just like, to me, with that being said, do you think like, is there a way they could even make, analog or controller lobbies only? And even then it would get to cheating, right?
I guess it's game specific. Because I know I've dealt with games, because I was telling you, whenever I was playing like Destiny 2, like competitively with like every weekend they'd have like high-end competitive Trials of Osiris thing. It would be all this like very intense competition to get rewards. And you'd have to have a squad. Like, for the longest time, there wouldn't be matchmaking. So if you didn't have a team, you couldn't do it. They changed that, but it beats where if you just had all console players, it only matched you against console players. But if you had a PC friend on your team, then it would open up the pool. And I was cool with that. It was like, okay, but because there was a way to control it. And I feel like there's been a couple of games, but maybe those are going away entirely to where everything's like crossplay. I don't know, because that's annoying. Like, if I'm on a console, I want people who are working with the same, for the most part, the same tools I'm working with.
I agree. And if it's not, because that's why I don't care if it's PlayStation.
Exactly.
If you're on PlayStation, that's fine because you're on a console. Cool. I will say this though. I in like PUBG, Fortnite. Shooting games, I don't care if you're on PlayStation. If I'm playing baseball, I don't like playing PlayStation kids.
Okay.
I hate playing PlayStation kids on MLB The Show.
Well,
I hate it.
What's the story there? Because they have controller with similar button layout.
The story there is that the reason I hate that is because MLB The Show, I feel, call it crazy, but I feel like it's true. MLB The Show did not drop on Xbox until MLB The Show 21. Up until then, it was all PlayStation.
So
it was a PlayStation. It was a PlayStation. It was a PlayStation. It's not just that. It's not that I'm saying they optimized it for that. It is that I hate playing it because of the way PlayStation kids play when they see that they're playing Xbox. And because I noticed this when I first started, and it's I don't think it's just that. Oh well, because here's the thing. Like technically, PlayStation kids had access to the game MLB The Show for a longer period of time than Xbox.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to play MLB The Show, you had to own a PlayStation to play it up until 2021, and at that point they made it to where it was compatible for PlayStation and Xbox. So number one, yes, they had longer time to play with it. It's not that. It's like when it first dropped, we would be playing crossplay games. You would go from playing a lobby like a 2v2 match or a 1v1 match of like Xbox kid. The Xbox guy would pitch you fairly reasonable. It would be like he would actually he'd be trying to hit like inside, then low and away, up and in. And if he missed, it wasn't by a lot. But then when you played PlayStation kids, it was like they pretty much it's like they see Xbox and they're just trying to clown you.
Yeah.
And it's like they'll throw like 3 balls in a row. They're just straight balls to see if you stop. No, they're trying to pretty much like because they know that you're new to the game. They know that Xbox is new versus PlayStation. So initially they would just spam like change ups in the dirt where you think you have to swing. And it's like you would swing way early and you would just swing at a ball in the dirt because they're just sitting there, kind of like purposely rather than giving you a fair shake at the game and throwing the game, like throwing a reasonable pitch. It's like they didn't want to fucking lose because you're on Xbox.
Yeah.
It's like giving up a hit or a home run to an Xbox guy, I feel like to them is like, fuck that. Like I'm not throwing any. It's like anytime to this day, when I play a PlayStation kid on MLB The Show, I literally will have to take like 2 walks before the guy will actually throw me consistent strikes. Whereas when you play Xbox people, they pretty much start off like
we came
trying to get you out. Yeah. But it's like playing the PlayStation people, it's like they start off like trying to be like, oh, well, can you lay off of that? Well, don't swing the bat. Well, just don't swing. And it's like
it's interesting thing. I believe it entirely. People are that way where they'll just like create tribal mentalities of like a PlayStation tribe. Oh, these Xbox guys. Okay, we're gonna treat them this way.
Because, like I said, I had invited other dudes to parties from Xbox, and we've talked, and I'd say something about like playing PlayStation kids on there, and all of them would be saying, "Oh yeah, fuck PlayStation," like because they do the same. They all play like it's like seriously. It's like for them losing a game against an Xbox guy is like some machismo thing because it's like they've probably been playing the game since like mid 2000s, and now here it is 2025. So it's like I've been playing this game for fucking 20 years, 10 years. I'm not going to lose to you.
Dude, it's interesting these dynamics that exist within video game cultures,
Yeah, so it's like when I play MLB, like I'll usually turn off crossplay, but I will say the last 2 MLB games that I've played that I've won were against PlayStation kids because, and this is why, because I already know as soon as I see the PlayStation kid, I already know how he's going to play. And I won't like the first 2 at bats. I won't even swing because I already know like number one, it doesn't go bad for me because it's like usually he's going to walk me. And if he doesn't walk me, then that means he's just going to get comfortable and I'm going to see where he lands his strikes because they usually repeat where they throw their strikes.
That's what happens when they come against an intelligent Xbox player.
It's like if you just sit there and you say, okay, so he's going to throw me balls and walk me, or he's just going to get comfortable thinking, oh, this guy's not going to swing, and I'm going to like, oh, you keep throwing the slider low and away. I'm just going to sit low and away and bang the slider after you throw me 3 balls.
Hell yeah.
So it's just funny, those little dynamics.
That's awesome, man. It's great. I'm happy. I feel like I'm fully back on to being able to play video games.
I've noticed you getting on every now and then.
I was playing the game The Outer Worlds 2. I was able to beat that and finish it. And then there's this random like Game Pass game that was free. It's from like 3 or 4 years ago, like an indie arcade game called Dark Light. It kind of looked interesting, like Metroid's classic style, jumping around in a like kind of futuristic, weird dystopian like sci-fi world with weird shit going on. And so I was like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. This looks interesting. I don't have to buy it. I play it. And I beat that. And now I've downloaded, because I like the Dragon Age games. Like, they've got a few. But there's one that came out last year, Dragon Age Veilguard. I never got around to playing. and now I'm playing that. It's nice. I'm very happy to be enjoying video games again. That's all
No,
I'm
that's what's
saying.
up, man. Yeah, no,
It's
I
a
mean,
weird thing to say, but it's like, man, this is
yeah.
great.
Well, I mean, it's you got to a point where you had other shit going on, and it just wasn't. You didn't have the. You didn't feel like you necessarily, you know. It's like you couldn't get off watch, right? It's like I feel like
Yeah,
that's
well,
probably what it
first the
was,
baby
where it's
was
like,
born, and then there was just like baby watch. But then, like a
yeah,
year later, okay, I'm gotta look for another job. Now I'm on like job watch, and like
yep,
I couldn't let myself enjoy something casually because I felt like
yeah,
I needed to.
doing
I need to
something
be out
else.
there trying to be productive because I need to be productive, if anything, to hopefully get something money while I'm looking for a job. But now it's like, wait, okay, I can just sit here and play this game.
Yeah,
It sounds
exactly. It's like I can just
ridiculous, but that's
no,
exactly where I was, man.
it sounds ridiculous to
crazy.
people who it sounds ridiculous to someone who hasn't had
Yeah.
another life situation pop up to where you're like, oh
It's just
shit, like
wild.
I kind of can't do this right now, and it's like, you know,
That's
no,
it's just
that's
fun. It's nice, and it's cool
yeah,
because
and
I was so into Destiny 2 to where even though I was gaming so much, I was in an
like that's all you
online
were playing.
game, and to keep up with it, it was because of good updates. I had to stay playing that one game because before Destiny 2, I would like get a game, I play it all the way through and beat it, get a game, play it right through.
You jump around,
Yeah,
but
and
then
I
you
would
got
play maybe
Destiny, and
some
it was
multiplayer.
like
But now it's like
that's all
I
you
really
had. It had to take your
appreciate the
time.
single player games, and then like if I want to do a multiplayer game, just like one that I'm cool to jump on and have fun with, but not be like, oh, I gotta grind for this or do this or that, you
Yep.
know.
And
So
that's what I was gonna say. I wanna like
yeah,
you saying all that. I want to find we have to find like a multiplayer. We should find a game we could play together. Whether it's
you think
just
we would have done
whether
it?
it's I know, right? And I was gonna say whether it's just
Like we have to pick one that's not out. Like get into it together, fresh, maybe.
no, I agree. And I was gonna say that it's like it doesn't have to be a PvP. It can be like we could
PvE.
compete we could compete like and defeat a co-op together or something. Like
Dude,
I'm cool with that.
that Arc Raiders game is supposed to be amazing. I don't
I
know.
haven't gotten it. I know
I
everybody
haven't
keeps
either.
talking about
It's
it.
an
Everybody,
extraction
to
shooter,
me, that seems
solo
like it'd be right
extraction.
up your alley.
I've been
It
so
seems like it'd
tempted
be up
to
your
get
alley.
it. I just because it's strictly like extraction. You
Yeah.
know,
No,
online
Crane plays it a
style.
lot. You could talk to Crane because
Dude, no,
he
I've
likes
watched and read
games.
a lot. I feel like it's like one of the most unique, probably games worth checking out. That's
Oh
come out
yeah, I
recently.
feel like it's gonna be. Yeah, and I think it's gonna be one of those games that probably for the next. And call me, I could be way wrong, but just the vibe it has, I feel like it's a game that for the next 10 years or so, people are gonna be playing. Like, it's gonna
It's
expand
done
pretty
something
crazy.
special. Whatever it's like, it really
It's
has.
some of the gameplay I've seen is pretty legit,
It's
and
insane.
yeah, it's pretty dope. So I could definitely see that being something that
We
like,
might need to like have a Mikey and me sleepover. Bring your
yeah,
Xbox. We both buy it and we
yeah.
jump in there together.
No, that'd be dope, dude. Like I said, though, we need to definitely find something. It's like just some random game. I've been playing Crane a long time ago. Bought it for me, and recently we had played a few. But Hunt Showdown.
Oh,
Have you ever seen Hunt Showdown?
Yeah, I never played it, but
It's
I'm
kind of.
familiar with it.
It was, dude. Crane's pretty good at it. Like he's better. Like
Chris
I
played
really
that.
do.
I feel like maybe
Hunt Showdown? No, he didn't play Hunt Showdown. He played he played For Honor. And that was one that he played. Hunt Showdown is like a Wild West almost like horror game.
Yeah.
Where Hunt Showdown, like you pretty much defeat like bosses, like these anomaly, these like, what are they fucking called? They're bosses that are on the level. It's like there's maybe 20 players to a lobby or something,
Yeah.
or 10 players, and there's one boss you're trying to banish, like a demon or something. You're trying to banish this boss, and so you go around and you hunt for clues. You use like this certain vision to be able to detect a clue. You go to the clue, you investigate the clue. That clue leads you to another clue. You go to that clue, and it's all leading you to where the final boss is. And then once you get to him, well, here's the thing. Once you get to the final boss, you can either decide to go ahead and fight him and kill him. And once you fight him and kill him, you have to banish him. And to banish him, you have to go over and hit or hold X. and it'll like do the little wheel where it goes around, it loads like as you're holding X, like it's loading, you banishing him. And then once that thing fills and it's like, okay, now you've banished him. Now you have to like sit there for maybe 3 to 5 minutes while it fully banishes the thing. So you have to hit X or something to cue the prompt after you've killed the thing. And then once that point, then you have to pretty much stay alive for like 3 minutes or however long until it's fully done banishing. And
like fighting,
and during that time,
fighting what?
During that, no, nothing. You don't fight anything. You're just trying to hide or whatever. So like other players can come around. So here's the thing. So if you find him right away, so the other night, Crane and I were the first ones to find the bad guy. We found the spider. It was like some giant spider in a barn. We killed the spider, and as soon that was Crane was telling me that like, okay, nobody else is here. We're the only ones that have found him so far. So he was like, we can start killing it. And he was like, but if we start shooting it, other people are going to come to the gunshots. And so if other people come to the gunshots and find you, they could kill you, kill the thing, and then banish it. So it's like, even if you kill it and banish it, you still have to survive. Yeah. So you still like have to pretty much sit there and stay alive for the time that it takes to fully like get done banishing it, and then it completes. So you could technically go through the whole thing without fighting a single person.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you have to fight through other people. But that's the thing. It's kind of a tactful thing. Like, so certain weapons you use, some of them are silenced, and it works. It's like they have less damage, but silenced is great because then your people across the map can't hear where you're shooting from. And it is like a super, like, that really is important in that game because it's like if you hear gunshots, like people run to it. They're like, okay, where's that at? And so,
cool.
You know, it is a really neat game. But again, it's like a Wild West. It's a Wild West kind of style. So all the guns are old. It's like they have the Nagant revolver with the suppressor on it. Then they have like old lever action guns and bolt action and shit like that, pump action shotguns.
Yeah.
But again, it's all set like in, you know, it's pretty much like a Ghost. It's like a supernatural Red Dead. It's kind of one of the best ways I can explain it.
Yes, I'm watching the video. I'm picking that up.
Yeah, no, but it's fun. Like it's a cool. While you are playing other players, it's kind of that neat crossover because you're all trying to defeat like a computer boss.
You're not gonna benefit killing somebody who's gonna help you stay alive. You know, by fighting this. And like, if anything, you want your opponent to be.
Well, no. So that's the thing. Like, no. It's like you can kill the thing pretty decently on your own. But like it's kind of it all depends, right? That's the thing that's kind of cool about it. Like you can approach it depends on how you approach it. Like Crane and I the other night kind of tried to approach it like, let's just kill this thing without killing anybody else and hurry up and get out of here. Like because everybody else was sneaking around still trying to find it. Yeah. So we just started shooting it and trying to kill it and vanish it as quickly as we could before anybody got to it.
That's pretty cool, man. Looks like a fun.
But it is a fun game. But yeah, I was gonna say we got to find something to play together. But I've been playing Red Dead, Grand Theft Auto, baseball, and Fortnite. Those have been.
I love Red Dead. Whenever maybe whenever GTA comes out next year.
But, I know, man. That's what like.
But I doubt online. I know. I'll be curious to see if online comes out at the same time because I feel like online
here's the thing.
Out with the same time as 5 last time.
Here's the thing. Whenever it comes out, like any game, it's out.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not whenever MLB the show, the newest one drops, it's like it's out, but it's broken as shit for the first 3 months.
I know.
It's like MLB the show comes out.
Product so broken.
MLB the show comes out and you play online games, they'll freeze. For the longest time, it would freeze. Like you would play twos co-op, and on like one of them 2 years ago or something, or last year, it would freeze if you fouled off like a sinker or a fastball in to the first base dugout. The game would freeze.
Yeah, they basically let you do the beta testing as consumers.
Yes, that's what I was telling. Yes, that's exactly what I told Crane. I'm like, why is it that the first like 3 months of a release of a game is essentially like we're all just the guinea pigs to see what works. And it's like, what were y'all doing for the last year?
It's
What were y'all?
because the executives leadership have deadlines and they have quotas that they're gonna get this many sales and to release by this date.
And they just push it out. Doesn't matter.
Finished product, have pre-orders that guarantee all this crap, and they'll just smooth it over the next few months.
And that's why I said, man, it's like it really at this point, I'm like, I really don't care when people are like, oh, are you going to get the new what's it called? It's dropping tomorrow. It's like I'm not going to be able to really enjoy the online for whatever game it is for like a couple of months, because there's going to be shit that either one, there's going to be screw ups, or number two, the servers are going to be getting throttled and you're not going to be able to get into a match.
Yeah.
Like that's what happens a lot of times. Like almost every Call of Duty I feel like has been that way, where it's like the servers are just getting throttled and it's like, I'm sorry, we're having unexpected errors. Like
no one's having what they would consider like an amazing time the first couple days of playing it.
No, any game.
Yeah.
Unless you're only playing, unless it has a story mode and you're playing the story and the story's released, you're probably having fun. But if you're playing the online component of the game, it's broken. Yeah. It's broken.
Yep.
There's no point. Even the baseball games are almost getting to the point where it's like you might as well not even play it for the first 2-3 months, 4 months, because they don't drop some of the coolest cards until 4 or 5 months in. And then the way they drop them, and the way they drop them is that it's like they'll drop them in these easy programs where it's like, oh, you just have to do a few things and I get like a 97 or 98. So it's like getting the game right away doesn't always benefit. Yeah. It's not really
basically trying to smooth things over by a gimme thing like that.
Yep. But
right, man.
Yeah, man. Good episode. So the year that we're on is 1988, correct?
Yes, sir. 88.
88 will be the year.
I was 4 years old. I'm curious to see what I was watching back then.
Sweet little baby Matthew.
Sweet little baby Matthew.
Could you only imagine sweet little baby Matthew next to little baby Sela?
Yep.
Could you tell them apart?
Sweet little baby Sela. Yeah, man. What you reckon? What
recommendation? Oh shoot, man! I had it the other day. You can go if you already have one. I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
Golly.
If you haven't spent a good amount of time giving serious attention and consideration to the music of Sir David Bowie, you should.
I agree. Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, there's an article I stumbled across recently, which is like a factoid or just a fun fact thing that dealt with like apparently that the Frank Sinatra "My Way" song, you know, I did it my way.
Yes.
Apparently, David Bowie, because early in his career, David Bowie, throughout his career, he actually wrote a lot of songs that he just wrote and other musicians like bought them, or he just wrote them from other people, or like he wrote them and sold them, whatever it is. But apparently, I think it was like in the 60s, "My Way," super early in his career, was a song that he just sold, and it ended up being, I guess, picked up by whoever managed Frank Sinatra, to where Frank Sinatra, he sang that song, and that's fine. David Bowie sold it. It was interesting. But I guess there's some component of it that was changed or something, that whenever David Bowie's young and he heard it, it's kind of like, I guess he heard it on the radio. He was like, whoa, yeah, that's the song I sold. And he's like, oh,
that's wild.
That part? And kind of being like annoyed by it. This being back when he was young, like younger when it happened, to where the song "Life on Mars" that is on his, I believe, third album. It was on Hunky Dory, yeah, which is probably like his third album that has like changes and all that stuff, but it's still like it's early David Bowie. The song "Life on Mars" you probably recognize, that supposedly like a lot of that he wrote is like taking a jab or making fun of ways or things that he wrote in the "My Way" song. That like "Life on Mars" was basically almost like a jab at the rendition of "My Way."
Huh.
Which is wild.
No, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought
that was really weird.
Incredibly interesting. Because I love David Bowie.
No, it's very.
And all this being things that took place in the 60s, you know, it being
right.
like that, or 70s, like that old, to where it's like, oh, no, yeah, I guess it would have been like 72, I think. Like, because I think his first album got like 69, so Honky Dory would have been like 72. or something like that. But yeah, I love David Bowie, and it's always nice to be drawn back into just knowledge of his history and everything. Because he's an artist.
No, yeah, for sure, absolutely. I mean, that's a good, yeah. I like that recommendation. Let's see. Golly, man, like I'm trying to remember what I thought of it because I get after like my last one. There was a couple of days ago. I was like, oh, that's what I should have said. Like that's a recommendation I should give. And I'm having it's gonna tick me off because I bet you as soon as I'm gonna find another one to give. And then as soon as we log off, I'm gonna think that's what it is. That's what. Drink a matcha. There you go. Drink you some matcha.
Oh, the matcha.
Drink some matcha.
You're getting on
there
matcha,
you go.
Yeah.
Get you a matcha. That's what I say. I haven't had coffee in probably like 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
I've been a
beer?
I've had beer. I've had some beers. I went like 2 weeks with no beer. Went 2 weeks with no beer, and I've gone 3 weeks with no coffee. But yeah, the no beer, I just randomly was just like, okay, I'm not going to drink any beer.
Yeah.
And then I didn't, and now I'm kind of thinking that this Monday when it rolls around, I'll probably go another week. I think I might drop it for a week or so, or like at least until New Year's, whatever. And then just start doing that where it's like maybe I only just shift to either having a beer.
You've been trying to exercise?
I haven't, not this week. I didn't with the holiday and kind of not feeling well, but before that I did. But yeah, no, it was nice to, it's one of those things you just casually do here and there. It's like, okay, nothing's going on, or, oh, I'm watching a movie, or it's the end of the night, I'm doing this. And then you just casually do it unconsciously. You don't think about it.
Yeah.
But then eventually you're like, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't, or I could, it'd be better if I just stopped. And it's like, everybody knows it's better to not drink, but like, so I just stopped or whatever for like 2 weeks. And during that time, it's like the first 2 days or so, you're just like, you get that, you're sitting there watching something or doing something. You're like, oh, I'll go have a beer. And then you're like, okay, wait, I'm not going to. So it's like that first 2 days, you're just like, you kind of get that feeling or thought like, oh, I'll crack a beer. And then it's like, no, I'm not going to do that today. And then, after I got through
without having beer there.
Do what?
Like, were you at a point to where you ran out of beer and you didn't go get more? Or were you at a point
No, I had it.
where you had some and you abstained?
I had it. No, I had it. Yeah.
You abstained?
Yeah, I had it. Yeah, because I had
that
two,
gives it even more power.
Yeah, I had two. I had and I had two like tall boys in the fridge, and then I didn't drink those, but I had them to look forward to. But like, and two, it was like just knowing.
But
guess also
that simple thing. The whole game of the mind, and I feel like the game of just like our reward system and what we do to ourselves, especially with like addiction and just things and bad habits, to where like even like subconsciously it's like, okay, the reason I originally was even having a couple beers every night is because for whatever reason I would get beers or get me to a state of mind or being, even if barely, to where life was experienced better.
Yes.
Than if I didn't have it. For whatever reason, I feel like, for me at least, that's like an underlying thing. Like, why would I be doing this if for some reason I didn't feel like I was maximizing life in some way? And getting to the point of actually, like, choosing not to, because you don't need to. Because even if you do that, you can't, if you truly believe that way to intoxicate in any way is better than, like, the purest hit of, like, high life without even, it's almost like if you never knew what it was like to have a sip of beer, that like knowing the happiness to be there, that is actually still beats that whatever you think beer's given or any substance is giving you, to just actually be reminded enough. Because I feel like this recently I've been able to get to experience that, like, wow, like I could not do anything, hang out with my family today.
Yep.
And go to bed
and get that same dopamine
and not feel like, I think this is as good as I've ever felt,
Yeah.
And just being like,
what I think too is that
buzz. It can be fun, but it's like that's not gonna trump the real thing,
No, and I think too, one of the things, even like I was just gonna say or add, that like made it easier to not like, or to just stop drinking for those 2 weeks, was that it was like you know, it's almost like, number one, no longer, it's like, don't like vilify yourself or demonize yourself. It's like I feel like a lot of times, like, people, if you have a problem, or that not just a problem, but like you casually do something maybe you shouldn't do as casually as you do.
Yeah.
Is that like you end up, it's like you end up like feeling bad that you're doing it, and then all that does is make you end up doing that thing you feel bad for doing, right? You're like, oh, I shouldn't, and then you're like, yeah, fuck it, was it matter, right?
Yeah.
It's like, because you're already in that state of mind. But then it's like
you're above it, like you're always just down in it.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, oh, this is just what I'm going to do. This is just who I'm going to be, right? It's like, but that state of mind keeps you in that. Versus like when you're like thinking, I'm not necessarily quitting. Like, I'm just not going to drink one today. And then you don't do it today.
Dude,
and then the next day rolls, because Alan Watts talked about it. Alan Watts even talked about that same thing, where it's like, I'm just not going to do it today. And then
tomorrow's like,
it's like, yeah. And then even, and it's like, that's like, even like, what's his name? David Lynch, again, had talked about with like transcendental meditation and stuff, is that he was saying about like, I don't necessarily give things up, like smoking cigarettes. Yeah. It's like not good. He's like, I don't necessarily give them up. It's like, maybe I stop doing something for a while.
Yeah.
And I stop, and then it was like, I pick it back up, or I do it again or something. It's like, it doesn't necessarily, Yeah, it's interesting. And again, it's like, I know that nobody, it's like believing the Bible and everything, you shouldn't drink and all these things. But then also too, it's like, I think that if you are doing these things, that the last thing you should be doing, if you shouldn't or whatever, or that you should get a handle on it, is to be kicking yourself in the ass or vilifying or talking down on yourself.
Yeah.
That's just going to that's just going to make you drink more or smoke or go to the strip club, whatever your thing is. It's just going to make you go back there more.
Yeah. And next time y'all are here, did I bring up the whole thing about like there's something in your life, or say something we better at it, just that like, okay, I shouldn't have been that way. I don't need to be that way that often, or do this or that. But
I don't know.
And to where you ask God, like, say, God, help me to change this in me. Say this about you. Like, help me to be better about this. And whatever that thing is, like the times when you do it, or say act that way, that it's almost like it's almost like you're doing it because you're gonna do it. Almost like it sounds simple. You're not even trying not to do it.
Yes.
To where it's like, I'm asking God, I got this bad habit. I don't want to do it anymore. No, it's a bad habit. Please help me not to, and help just make me not even want that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when I go and have the thought to do it or be that way, that I'm just kind of like, oh, if I just do it, that's fine. I don't do it that often. It's not who I am. I'm just going to do it anyway,
Yeah.
In those simple moments, to simply try not to, just say, like, regardless of all those things, I'm just gonna try not to do it this time. So I'm just not gonna do it, even if for like the next minute I'm choosing not to do that. And then I just beg God, as I'm trying, it's literally because I feel like you don't even try not to do it, because you've already assigned yourself to being that.
Yes, right? exactly, because of that negative self-talk and
ask God to help you. Because I say, I'm like, I'm actually going to try not to, and say, God, help me. And then I wait a little bit, I'm like, yeah, I don't even know I'm worried about that bad habit at all.
Yeah, exactly. You realize like how little control it has over you to an extent at some point. Like you realize you're like, no, it does. It's hard. No, it makes perfect sense. Like, I understand. I can't say that everybody else does.
Like a way feeling that way.
It is. Yes.
Like you're just dooming yourself. Like, yeah, it just,
because again, when you're sitting there thinking, I need to not do this, or I shouldn't do that, or man, blah, 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 it's like that just keeps you in that headspace. And it's like the only thing that gets you out of that headspace is doing that thing.
Yeah.
So it's like the only thing that gets you out of that, like, I shouldn't do this headspace, is having a beer or something like that, versus, when you stop looking at it, like, because again, it's like that thought process is coming from this place of like, this is what I am. It's like, what the fuck like, you're not an alcoholic, dude. Like, you're having some beers. Just don't drink a beer, and then you're like, oh, okay.
And then, like, for whatever reason, normal life isn't as good as some version of that, you know?
Yes. And I think, too, one of my reasons for, like, just deciding I was like, I don't want to drink for a little bit was, number one, to, like,
that,
you know, I hate thinking that
I'm joking.
God,
I'm joking.
knock on wood. I hope I never get one of those.
I'm joking. That's a joke.
You know, it's like is wanting to get back to, you know, it's like, number one, hate feeling like you're controlled by something, or you know, it's like I don't want anything to control me. And then not only that, but it's like not only wanting to not feel like something controls you, but two was like I wanted to try and see if it's possible to just get back to like when you were a kid, and it was like the basic enjoyment
what that was like. Like,
well, not even that, but it's like yeah, just getting back to the enjoyment of like the small little moments and the day to day, and it's like whatever, and it's like, and I feel like, you know,
I feel like this ties into something that I think it'd be great to even bring up a Boyco, just because conversationally it's interesting. But I think a lot of what Chase Hughes was talking about being robbed of is the ability to even like live in these moments you're describing.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Like being robbed of so much of a state of mind, it is a type of drug. I'm just saying I just immediately think of losing that same thing to a substance. Like I feel like the phone is having the same effect on a lot of people.
Yeah, I saw a meme today that said, "Your phone is cigarettes for your eyes."
Dude, it's cigarettes for your soul, dude.
It is, and it really, you know,
nicotine
you have
in your
to.
Body, you just want like.
I think this would be my thing.
Dude.
This would be my thing about the phone, to be able to like actually try and, you know, identify or to get off of using the phone or something, is just to think for a second that like maybe whatever problem you're having in life or unhappiness you're experiencing, just think for a second, imagine, let's just assume it is my phone. Start using it less, stop it, whatever. And I can almost guarantee that even if it isn't the problem, your life will pick up a book, start reading a book, do something, read a magazine.
The problem, you might feel, but it might help.
It's not. I don't think it's helping.
You have just
and I don't think it's
going to be better across the board.
I think exactly, and I feel like it's like if you put it down, it will improve many things. It's like whether or not it's not the full problem. It's like because again, it's not necessarily it's a problem because it's so convenient.
It's about humans not being. It's like you walk into a trap of being addicted to something in a way that's so not obvious. I mean, it's almost like I don't fault the company. I don't fault the phone. I don't fault anybody who's making the device and who's trying to maximize profits because, if I get their attention, we do these things and all this bullshit. It's like, oh yeah, literally that's the way the game's played. I get it. But for people to be so uneducated, it's to happen in real time. So it's not like they schemed it. That's just like, this is like within real time. We learned how to do this. We're doing this. We're making more money. There's just a lot of society's a victim to that in a ways that I don't even know. It's just the more time goes by recently, and I love how much I see people use the phone and just be on them in general. Not that I'm doing anything better, but just knowing like the weird addiction and just even knowing they're not doing things that they care about or like taking interest in other things as much because it's sucked into them. It's where it's like,
and I think
I'm seeing this with little kids. I'm seeing this with adults. Dude, I counted a blessing from God that the job I got, literally, I can't have my phone in there with me.
Yeah,
you know?
and
just, I don't feel like but just not to even have it. Like, I feel like people almost need to be forced to like not have it for like an hour a day or some shit. I don't know, man.
And no, I don't disagree. And I think that too, though, it's like it's important. Like with you, if you recognize it, I think that it's important that when it's how you can make people aware of it is also like I think it's important that you recognizing it is great, right? if you're able to recognize it, you're able to see it and stuff, that's awesome. But like the only way you're going to be able to maybe help somebody stop using their phone or to help them see it is all about how you approach it, right?
I'm not
like
even
you have
trying
to
do that, man.
No, I know, but like also too,
I'm
like
saying, like, there's a way for me, it comes down to knowing that I try and say this to people like my daughter's 2. I know, I think if all the people she sees in life, and even if I would be in a room with them to see what they're doing, if I were to track all the time in a room with my daughter, say 3 hours in a room with her, to see how much time they actually have their phone out and are doing something on it within that time, like that, my daughter, she had TV. She just sees you looking down at your phone, I feel like most adults she sees. I sit there and look. I'm like, I make a point as much as I can to not be on my phone unless I'm using it to clearly look up something. But if I'm not doing it, I'm not just sitting there like this. And I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying
but it's not. It's not.
I don't
wrong.
want my daughter to think that's the way to be. You know. I want to be on a phone. I want her to know Daddy's not on his phone that much. Like she started getting her clothes and trying to put her clothes up, like do her laundry with me because she saw me doing laundry. Yeah. I was just so moved. She was in the room doing it by herself. So I'm like, thank you, girl. Just because I make a point to I don't want her to think that that's how life is supposed to be. You know?
No, I get what you mean, and so that's what I mean too. It's I'm not saying you spend time doing you don't think you should go around
and say something to somebody.
That's what I'm trying to say is that it's about how you say it. Don't you can't just be it's people sometimes a lot of people know the issue, right? Sometimes a lot of people know it, and when you just flat out but they don't want to fucking hear it sometimes, and when you just flat out say it, sometimes it's not absorbed versus whenever you help them come around to it in their own way, or how you approach it with them.
Man, how would you even do? Because I'm bad at that. So how?
Okay, so I'm not I think the way you could do it is by it's
like something that you said that Aaron described once. Where Aaron,
I know that was literally what
asking funny. A question back to where you're basically at the
That's
conclusion.
Funny you said that. Yes, that's funny because that was literally what I was
without
thinking
saying, hey, this is the point I'm trying to make. Ask you a couple questions to get a gauge, and you answer in a way that kind of says, oh, I guess that's how I feel about that. Almost.
Yes. Yeah, it was more or less something like that. It's you can pretty much walk somebody around to it by just talking to them, not necessarily, because that's the thing. It's again, nobody wants to be told. For instance, Patrice O'Neal had a bit. This is what I'm going to use as a comparison because I think it's one that I feel fits.
Yeah.
But he had a bit where he was talking about Obama, and he was white people, shut the fuck up. He was if y'all would just shut the fuck up, we would get there with Obama. And he was but when y'all are just sitting here trashing Obama, he was us black people feel we kind of have to have some, we got to have his back. He's black, we're black. So we defend him because y'all won't shut the fuck up. And he was but if white people would shut the fuck up and stop saying how bad he's fucking up and how much he sucks. Exactly. Then at that point he was saying, then they would feel they don't have to defend him and they could actually criticize him and say, hey, look, think you're fucking up. You should have done this. You should have done that. Rather than if I'm sitting here telling you need to get off your fucking phone, you're telling me to get off my phone.
Yeah.
So and half the time when you're doing that, you're telling somebody something they fucking know.
Yeah.
So you can't, it's how it's you almost have to help them remember. It's remember what life was whenever when we're 15, how you were just in those moments and things like that. And then it's what happened? Why are we not like that anymore? Well, what do you mean? It's I don't know. Why is it that life just feels not as every moment to moment, me sitting here talking to you should feel amazing. It should feel like everything in the world to me, but it doesn't, because after I hang up here, I have another stimulus I'm going to run to. I'm going to go watch a movie. I'm going to go play a video game. And it's bringing people, Yojimbo, and bringing people around to that and helping. That's what I'm saying. You have to bring them around to it to where they can kind of understand, oh yeah, oh shit. Well, yeah, I mean, shit, it could be my phone. Maybe, yeah, that's a good point. I do remember just enjoying basic shit more when I was younger, and I didn't have this fucking phone in my hand.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Maybe I'm going to try for a day well, I'm not going to use it, you know? And so I feel like that's how I would maybe recommend with anything. If we're going to like, how if you recognize something is a problem, I do think it is important to try and tell people about it. I don't think you should just, because I think that eventually it's just going to end up pissing you off some way or another. In some, like with me with the flock cameras, I tell people about it. And, you know, there's a part of me that it's like, you know, like, yeah, people probably don't want to hear about it, but I talk about it because it's like,
I almost responded to you the other day because, like I was saying, it's almost like the reality of it is, however you feel about it or not, the justification of it snares or not, regardless of literally whatever they're even using it for right now. Forget about that. They are setting up the infrastructure to be able to basically monitor everybody to where whether or not they're using it for that now, if they get bought or sold, the government takes the right or be like, they're setting up the network to basically
the infrastructure is there.
Switch it on to monitoring everything. It being basically like, we're going to set up cameras in everyone's house. We're not going to turn them all on. It's like, laws are changing? Yeah, we're watching you all now. You know?
And that's the thing is that it's like again, that creeped me out again. Cause it's like, number one, after we did that episode where I first talked about them, I immediately started seeing them pop up all over the place. And it wasn't that like, oh, you just didn't recognize them. No, I saw new ones. Like there's two new ones right at the intersection by my house. I wouldn't have
thought that deeply, but AI helped make some points about it that kind of got me to where, like I was even saying, even based on what you can read about what they could get away with doing now, would probably bother some people.
Yes.
But even if you completely forget all that, it's literally setting up the network and infrastructure for it to, with any reason...
Mass surveillance.
Yeah, or just even the Patriot Act.
Yeah.
Like, if something happens, they pass a law, all of a sudden, all these... We can listen to anyone on their phone doing anything. If we give it this label... Like, you're setting up the thing like, oh, we need to be able to find this terrorist. Let's turn all the cameras on. Everyone would be like, cool, you caught him. Be like, wait, you already had those cameras set up? Wait, you know? It's like, what?
No, and again, like I said, it's like the other day it was really creepy for me when I'm literally driving through the Home Depot parking lot, and in the middle of the parking lot, there's two cameras. Like I'm used to seeing them on intersections. It's like, okay, intersections, I guess, make sense. That's where people are passing through. It's honestly, an intersection, man, but it's like seeing them
earlier than a lot of people are.
Yeah, and it's like, but seeing them in freaking in a store parking lot. Why the fuck are you monitoring a store parking lot? Well, it's like, I understand major thoroughfares. If you're trying to say, oh, a car stolen, or we're trying to catch a predator who kidnapped a kid, it's for Amber Alert.
If you told like, probably any person you know that was happening, they would have a problem with it. But they don't know what's happening. And is there anything that even matters? You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I get it, and that's too another reason. That's another reason I've mentioned it. Yeah, exactly. But I do understand too that like I do have to approach it in a certain way with people when I talk about it, to not, because when you're talking about something like this, it's like somebody will automatically
just the moon landing was a hoax.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Exactly my point is that when you talk about it, you already get the connotation of like, where's your fucking tinfoil hat? Like you're just talking, and it's like, no, dude. It's literally, we were warned about this shit in books. They told us in 1984. Like it was. So that's my thing too. And like, if it's in these books and all these science, it's like, why is it that all these science fiction books and movies are oddly mimicking reality? What is it? Art? Is it life imitating art? What the fuck is going on? Yeah, like that's just one of the crazy parts to me, is that there's just all that shit. It's like, I'm sitting here like, guys, like, that's the one thing too that I think is funny, is that people want to be like, you know, oh, if you're not doing anything wrong, what's the problem? And it's like, why do they care? That's my thing. Why do you give a shit? Why does somebody give a shit what any of us are doing?
Yeah,
like, if you don't care what they're doing, if you don't care,
okay, I'm just gonna always let them know what I'm doing because I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, it's like, why do they give a fuck? It's weird. To me, it's weird. We don't like pedophiles. We don't like peeping toms. We don't like, people like that, but it's okay for some of these people that own these companies to, it's like, there's something weird with that. Like the people that want to own these companies that want to have this mass surveillance and this type of control, that's fucking weird. And people don't question that. They're like, well, what do you got to hide?
I just think of it
what are you hiding?
There's money to be made in control. Like basically,
see, that's the thing. Yes, I agree with that, but also too, like, it's money to be made, but also to come up with this shit. Like, you've got to fucking, I don't know. Like, there's a level of like just I think control. I think there is a controlling factor to it, to where it's an intersection of like, it's the perfect thing for somebody who wants to make money and like a psychopath. It's like a perfect.
It's a weird thing because it's like the inevitability. It's like dual use things. Like you're setting up the infrastructure to where, like this is going to be used in ways people will be cool with.
Yeah.
But it's like if you were to try and write down what a perfect society is in characteristics and traits that a perfect society has, if you could try and say the perfect way to where you would probably be like, the police would have these cameras set up everywhere so they can catch bad guys, but they would be trusted to never use them for anything other than that. You would want those cameras there because you're a perfect society. So it's basically easy back. Well, yes, if we have this technology to catch bad guys, we should use it. And then if it's used the other ways, it's one of those you can't. It's unavoidable. You know.
Yep.
So it's just. But I think the awareness is really what everyone. It's
absolutely. And I may have said it, but again, like I think I may have said it on here before, and if I'm repeating myself, whatever.
You do
but
like being a turtle.
Again, you know. With the whole like, oh, they're going to use it to catch criminals. And my thing again, I don't think they are.
Yeah.
The reason I say that is because the reason I say that they're not going to is, again, they have fingerprinting technology. How long have we had fingerprinting technology?
5 years.
We've had fingerprinting technology probably since the 70s, 60s.
Yeah.
Something like that. We can safely say since.
It's only gotten better. The earliest days, I would think, are probably older than that. Probably.
Let's see. I'm just curious. How long?
You talking like dusting for fingerprints?
Yeah.
I think that goes back to the 50s. But like, if you want to get to, that's what I'm saying. Like the earliest stages of it.
Let's see. How long has dusting for fingerprints been around? Late 1890s to early 1900s, following breakthroughs by science like Sir Francis Galton and Sir Edward Henry, with the first criminal conviction using fingerprints in Argentina in 1892. So since 1892, they've had fingerprinting technology to catch a fucking criminal. My aunt's car was stolen in front of our house years ago. The car was stolen. While the cops are at my house talking to me, 3 streets over, they're robbing somebody else's car in my aunt's car. And we didn't find this out till the next day because we're on Sparkman Next Door or whatever, this like thing. And it's saying, hey, you know.
Well, this is how many years ago?
Oh, shit. 2016, 2017.
Okay, so about almost 9 years ago.
Yeah, but either way, point is this technology. Yeah, so this technology has been around since 1800s.
Yeah.
So the car got found, and before going to pick it up, I called them and I was like, "Hey, so y'all, you've got my car. It's at the impound, right?" They said, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay. Well, are y'all gonna?" I asked them. I said, "Are you guys gonna have you checked it for fingerprints?" And they were like, "Do what?" And I was like, "Have you checked the car for fingerprints to see if you can maybe identify who stole my car?" And they were like, "Oh no, we didn't. We're not going to check it for prints."
Yeah.
I said, "Why not?" And they were like, "Well, because the chances of us finding a good print are pretty slim. I don't know. We're probably not going to find a good print. So you're not going to dust it for prints?" And it was like, "No." And I'm like, "But if a guy stole my car, isn't there a good chance he's probably been arrested before?" Well, we don't know. And it's like, point is, they've been able to dust for fingerprints since the 1800s. My car got stolen and they didn't dust it for fucking prints. They're not trying to catch a criminal. They didn't try and catch him. They didn't give a fuck. They charged me $120. They charged me $120 towing fee, an impound fee. That's what they did. I got my car robbed, and then the city decided, hey, let's rob this guy for another $150. They've had the technology since 1890, and they took my car and they didn't want to fingerprint it because they said, well, we probably won't find it.
You know crazy? Because fingerprints sounds whatever. I feel like a lot of people don't even think to ask about that.
No.
To think about if something gets stolen, thinking, oh, dusting for prints, there might be a chance they're on record.
Yeah.
But they don't even think to do it. And if
you would think the technology
a few hours to do it or something. Yeah,
and you would think the technology has advanced since the 1890s for dusting for fingerprints to be like the same way when it's like no refusal weekend. Oh no, we have a judge out here signing warrants to get your blood like that.
Selective when they want to use it.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, so they're not gonna this surveillance network that you think is being set up to help catch predators and criminals and da-da-da. No, it's gonna be sending a fucking ticket to your house to say your inspection's been out for a month. That's what it's going to be doing. It's going to be hitting you with fucking tickets for late inspection and, you weren't wearing a seatbelt and you're actually driving too fast. And also, too, you're driving 30% more than your neighbor, which means you need to pay a 15% fucking carbon footprint tax. How do you know this shit? How do you know that? Because we have a camera around every corner.
That's ever going to happen. I don't.
I do. I think that the more you let this shit go, it will.
Now, there's a possibility. I could say there's a 40% chance of happening, but I would bet money on the 60% chance that it doesn't happen.
That what you're not getting?
We never get a carbon tax based on our usage of something in America.
And that you don't think that they'll also like hit you with notice that your tags are out and you'll get a ticket for shit like that?
I mean, my tags.
Getting popped for your tags like your.
I don't get how
your inspection.
They don't know that I haven't paid to get them renewed. I feel like I should be getting them as soon as they expire anyway. So
no, I know, but I understand. But I'm saying that like if your inspection goes out, because that happens to a lot of people, there's something wrong with their car. It goes out, they can't get it done right away.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, like the same way whenever you ride the tollway and you don't have a toll tag, or the same way, like even like they send you the thing in the mail. Yeah. Hey, we caught you on the toll road. Here it is. That's what I'm saying. I feel like. It's not too far before it becomes that.
That would bother me if it's something I legitimately owe. Like if I'm getting like a bill for something that I should be paying that.
No, I get that, but it's like you're getting a bill for something. It's like I should be paying that, but it's a complete and total fucking overstep and overreach.
I just don't feel like I feel like they already have information that they would know that without cameras at all. I just feel like the registration of vehicles.
They do, but they're absolutely lazy. They don't want to get off their asses to go pull you over. They're absolutely lazy, so they're going to use this data.
Shit now, even without flock cameras.
Well, because they can't. Then they have to have proof that you're driving. It's harder. But now they have proof. They have to have proof.
So
now they have proof that the vehicle's in use. You can't prove they can't prove without a reasonable doubt that you're driving your car.
That's a good setup. I didn't know that.
But if they're catching you on camera and you're 6 months, we caught you on camera and you're 6 months out of registration. So we're going to get you. You're driving without a registration. You're driving without an inspection.
It's basically like you've been able to drive around and avoid cops. All of a sudden, you can't. Yeah. The camera's the cop everywhere. If you're driving around, you can get it. You'd be like,
the same. Yeah, the same way that whenever they took away, the same way when they put the police officer in a car and they said go look for crime, whereas before the police officer was on foot in a neighborhood and they were saying prevent the crime, but then they put him in a fucking car and they said go find it. Yeah. So now they're gonna have these fucking cameras on every corner that are finding these micro crimes, these little things, and who is it getting? You. It's not getting the fucking dope head stealing your weed eater out of your garage because that's under $750 in theft, and we don't prosecute under $750 in theft. The thing is, because that dope head stole your weed eater.
Get away with a lot whenever it's vehicular related. I think they won't. I don't think they. If anything, I think if things are caught on a camera that a person might have done, that it would be inadmissible, or I don't know. Or I feel like there's a weird thing there, because
There might be for right now, but personally, I think that also too is that you give them an inch and they'll take a mile.
But I'm saying if then a case would go one way, the law would be changed to where these cameras we can use them.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly.
And that would be it took that long.
That would be exactly. Yeah, that would be You're good point. Good point. But yeah, either way.
Right, man. That was a long rec.
That was a long recommendation.
How was that? An hour-long rec?
I think so. I want to say that was probably about an hour. We gave a recommendation. It went from drink matcha to get these fucking flock cameras out of my flocking city. Get them the flock out.
I don't think we would have been able to have it if you were sitting here. Or we would have, maybe, but it's almost like it's good. It's a good difference because I see it close up in your face on my screen right here.
I'm going to City Hall, and I'm going to yell at the city people, and I'm going to say, get these flocking cameras out of my flocking city.
In City Hall, aren't they like doing... into getting
they're supposed to. Yeah, they were talking about it. The city's just going to fucking get a bunch of money for it and put all the what they're going to do is they're going to sell it to like the Mavericks. They're going to sell it to the Mavericks or somebody for like $51 billion fucking dollars. And then they're just going to move all of the city infrastructure into some random buildings in downtown, pocket the money, do fuck all with it, and be like, look what we did. We took away something from the city, stuck all our city employees in some old ass buildings, and you got a new stadium to watch not Luka Doncic play as the Mavs. Like, get the fuck out of here. They're gonna fucking squander the money. It's just a bunch of horse shit. They're gonna they're gonna poach it and do fuck all with the money. It's gonna get embezzled.
I'm curious whatever they
like
do,
I said, I put my
it.
money on them selling that shit to the Mavericks, and the Mavericks are going to build a new stadium, and it's going to be
do that there?
Yeah, they're going to do it. Yeah, and it's going to be called like they're going to call it something fucking stupid too. I'll tell you that. It's going to be called something stupid. It's going to be like the Texas Dallas Star Plaza City State of the Texas. It's going to be dumb.
Again, I love how well you find things to be happy about in life.
I'm telling you, it's just the Gandhi said something about like not denying yourself of who you are. That's the greater thing is to deny oneself of who you are. And
some you brother.
You can want to be you can want to be something all you want, but you are who you are.
If you're a cold-blooded psychopath,
a the tiger can't change its stripes. Like, that's the way I see it. Like I said, it's gonna be a fucking mess. It's like, that's all I know. It's not gonna be great.
I'm glad you have such strong emotions about it.
I've just already see it coming.
In passing, and I was just like, huh.
And you're like, huh.
Damn, Mikey's opinionated.
I'll tell you what's gonna fucking happen. I'll tell you what's gonna happen.
Mikey's been thinking about this a lot.
Oh yeah, no, dude, I already know, man. Like I said, as soon as I heard him start talking, I'm like, oh yep, here we go. Because I heard the number and it was something ridiculous, and I'm like, oh yeah, the city's gonna turn down $51 billion. Like, they're gonna fucking sell it. Like, it's getting sold. They're gonna bulldoze it.
Who are the good guys and who are the bad guys?
The bad guys are I would say the city. I'd say the city.
Okay, then who are the good guys?
Who are the good guys? The people who live in the city. I think they're the good guys, not necessarily the people that own the fucking sports. See, why do the Mavericks need a new fucking stadium? Why? Why do the Stars are talking about it too? The Stars are talking about why do we need to move the AAC?
Talking about for a while. I don't think they do, but
no, that's what I'm saying. It's like, why are we doing, like, stop, like, you sold, like, that's the thing with the Mavericks. I'm talking about building sites. Like, you got rid of your best player. Nobody gives a fuck about the Mavericks. But let's build a new stadium.
To where I don't agree with it, but it's just what cities do. Right? Like, if you were to study every major sporting city in America, I bet there's instances where every single one of them has local politics do some building some shit that leaves a lot of people pissed off about it, saying, oh, they're doing this shit. There's the city doing this shit. To where I bet, on average, that's happening everywhere. To where I think it's this bullshit they do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. It's happening everywhere. No doubt. I don't disagree.
People and money, and this is bullshit
they do. Oh, yeah, I don't disagree. It's like, I think it's 100% that. Like I said, they're just going to move. Like, the city hall that they had is like an architectural. It's the city hall that we have is like some kind of architectural.
No, but the people that make decisions, do you know their addresses? We could stop by.
No.
Oh.
But it's like, I know that.
Change it.
I know that it's like the city hall was like at one point it was people have revered it as like an architectural, it's like something that's important. Pyramids. It was in RoboCop, yeah, but then it was also like, it was, there's some like architecture. There's some teacher at some architectural university in another city or another country that like referenced how it's like, it's something special and it should be like preserved and kept. And instead it's like more than likely going to just be fucking bulldozed. And we're going to throw up some dog shit postmodern looking fucking sports stadium to watch a bullshit team play in that doesn't have Luka Doncic on it. Yeah, I said it.
I think we found the heart of the matter.
Well, it's just, yeah, it's the heart of the matter is that you traded away the best player. And now we're talking about building a new stadium. fuck would you do that?
I'm
It's
doing
like,
some research
let's
on
trade
that.
away
Let's see,
our
1978 to
greatest
present.
and then build a new stadium. People are going to want to come see us.
By the mid-1960s, Dallas was eager to shed the quote-unquote city of hate reputation it had unfairly acquired after the JFK assassination.
Hey.
Let's see.
And you see that I'm keeping that I'm keeping the hatred alive in Dallas. You see that, right? You see what I'm trying to do, Matt? They're trying to wipe away.
I'm just saying. So this sounds like you're angry about something. So there's something that we can do to change it.
No, there's nothing you can do to change it. There's nothing you can do to change like them selling.
Do you take pleasure in being angry at things you're unable to change or impact?
I'm not angry at it. It's just the way I talk about it. Is it makes me seem angry, but rather it's like I don't see. I'm not surprised by it, right? It's like I just see it for what it is. It's like I don't have a way, but it comes off as like, oh, that I'm angry about it. It's like I'm not. It's just like it's just the same old shit, like you were saying. It's just bullshit that they do in cities, and it's like, why the fuck do you need a new stadium? You don't, but you're going to do it, and the city's going to take a bunch of fucking money. They're going to line the people that work for the city that are saying yes about it are going to get their fucking pockets lined. What's the fucking like? Of course they're going to do it. It doesn't piss me off. I'm not losing sleep over it, but it's like, let's be honest. You fucking cheeseballs are you're gonna suck the money in.
I thought a funny skit where you say all that stuff, and then it says translation to, I don't know, like somebody different. Somebody doesn't think like me to be like, oh yeah, it's stupid. I bet, I wouldn't be surprised if people embezzle money and they waste it and don't do anything. But hey, what do? That's the bullshit people do in cities and when there's money involved.
Yeah.
That you said the same thing. I just delivered very differently.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I don't like some people will be like, "Oh, you're angry at this conversation." Like, I'm not. No, I'm not angry at all. I don't give a fuck. I don't watch the Mavericks. I could give a fuck less. It's like
I don't even know what the fuck the Mavericks are.
Dude,
that's right.
I don't watch the show. I don't pay attention, but it's like I'm not an NBA guy, but it's like I just see these things and I'm just like it just gets annoying. It gets to a point where I'm just like I'm not worried about changing it. I'm not going to, but it's like the way that we talk about it as if it's news or as if like there's some debate. And it's like, we're probably going to do this. They're going to throw up some fucking stadium. And, like they already fucked up a long time ago when you didn't put all the sports stadium in the downtown area. You should have put them all like in Dallas. Like you shouldn't have broke it up. You shouldn't have had the Rangers in Arlington.
I'd love for all them to be in areas. Like it's always cool cities that are able to have that. But there's so many dynamics. But that was like the dream. Be like, being able to go downtown, at least have a couple. That's like I was happy that we end up having the Mavericks and the Stars. So basically,
it'd be nice to have. It'd be nice to have It'd be nice to have the Mavs, the Stars, Cowboys, and the Rangers all within like a square of each other, to where it's like But instead, it's like the Rangers are in fucking Arlington and the Cowboys are in Arlington, and it's like
it's the thing. It's almost like I feel like if one team had to be closest, it should have been the Cowboys, and they were. When they were at the Cotton Bowl.
When they're in Irving. Way back Irving and Cotton Bowl. Yeah, the Cotton Bowl for sure. Which is like, I thought that was supposed to get torn down or something, and then they remodeled it or something. I'm like, I thought we couldn't use it. What the fuck? I thought it was too much to remodel, and now we're keeping it?
$100 million upgrades into that shit like recently.
Yeah. And it's like, I thought we were going to be getting rid of it. And now it's here? Because I remember my buddies going to the Winter Classic at that thing thinking like, the Cotton Bowl's going to be gone. And it's like, Cotton Bowl's not going anywhere.
Yeah, dude. Isn't that funny? That's like the perfect example of like, what?
Yeah. No, exactly. But all right, man. This has been great. We're just going to keep going.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's only one thing left to say.
Be squeezing you.
Be saying,